Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for joining.
What's going on?
What's up, guys?
What up?
Alrighty, I think what we're gonna. Can you guys hear the music in the background? I don't know if you guys can hear anything.
A little bit, yeah, but we can hear a little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, I don't want to be.
It's not overpowering. It's not like Prides or anything.
Yeah, Pride.
Not at all. It's not that.
Right on.
Well, hey, welcome everybody for those of you that are joining us tonight. We appreciate it. We're going to cut to the chase. You know, we're going to talk some Vulcan tonight because there was an AMA this morning, early this morning, at least for me. Brian and Jason jumped on a live this morning, and they pretty much threw some stuff out there. So I want to talk about it, see what you guys think about it. There's been a few hours since that's happened. You know, I've been looking to the community, checking out the Discords, what the sentiment in the community is, and most importantly, there was one thing that stood out to me, guys, that Jason said in the middle of him talking, right at the very beginning. It was I think in the middle of one of the points he was making, and that's what I want to talk about. And if you guys saw the thumbnail, it's the word ONUS. So if you guys don't know what ONUS is, we're going to tell you what that is. And Fowler and all of us up here have been actually talking about this since day one, and not just about Vulcan in general, but everything in life, you know. Anyway, so we're going to talk about it, guys. But yeah, so that's pretty much the intro, guys. Again, thanks to everybody for joining us. We really appreciate it. And let's do it, guys. So what do you guys think about that AMA this morning? Barry, I'm going to start with you, man, because you're in the middle of chewing something.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I watched the AMA, and so the good, I like that. I felt like there was a level of honesty and just openness and transparency that we haven't been feeling in a while, and so that was good. I think, and not a bad thing, but a neutral thing is that I want to hear more about this vaporizing thing, because virtually everybody in the universe does not know what that is, and got to find out the mechanics behind it, so that we can increase our transparency and therefore desirability for the blockchain and the token. And the bad, it seems like they were kind of letting us know that there could be, a delay, even further than maybe what they were saying. So I think as long as you are a mid to long-term investor, that's not going to bother you as much. You're just more concerned about them doing it right. But people have had their coins locked up for a long time, and they just want to, have some access and, to take some off the top or do whatever they need to do, or maybe their life situation has changed and they need some money. But that's what I see, the good, neutral, and the bad, or potentially bad. But overall, I appreciated the fact that he did an AMA. I honestly would like to see an AMA every week, like we used to. Even if there's not a lot of news, we'd say, hey, there's not a lot of news right now. Things are coming along, whatever, but I'm sure everyone has questions, or just get some exposure, get somebody out there. And if it's not going to be Brian, have it be somebody else. All the AMAs do not have to be Brian. I would like to see more people, different people doing the AMA. And I think it'd be good if there was, someone who's on the spokesperson level for the blockchain that can disseminate information and answer questions, like a press secretary. That would be good in my opinion. That's what I thought.
Okay. Well, you did say something. You said a lot of things, and I'll let you chew. I'll ask the question. I'm going to ask you something here. You said that that they talked about a delay. Can you elaborate on that? Because I listened to it.
He seemed like blockchains are complicated. I think he alluded to there might be a delay. I don't know, but he was just being honest and vulnerable, which is great. I appreciate that. He says, hey, making a blockchain is a lot more complicated than we thought. There's all these different things, and it's hard. It's hard work. So either they need to hire more competent people. Let's say more of competent people, or some people who are able to get the job done. So that could be a staffing issue, or just or it'll just take more time. So, but they're going to run across things they've never encountered before. They're trying to come up with new technologies. So that's going to put some monkey wrenches in a lot of areas. You have one new thing, well, people aren't going to know how to respond to that. So, and if we have 2 or 3 new things, people are like, oh, okay, that's going to take some time to figure out. So, with new technology, that's just part of the name, part of the deal. So, but like I said, he didn't say there was going to be delay. It just seemed like, okay, he's being open and honest about how difficult it is to create this layer on blockchain with this new technology.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he kind of alluded to it a little bit. He just said basically, if there is a delay, just, it is what it is. We're trying to roll this out. You get one shot to get it right. So I think they kind of alluded that if there was a delay, there's no reason for them to, at the moment, think that it's going to be delayed. But they alluded to, if there's a reason for it. And hey, just bear with us. It's because we want to get this shit right first time. So that's kind of what I took away from it.
Yeah.
In regard to the delay, the other real big takeaway was it's about fucking time Brian cut his hair.
Oh, he did more than cut it, man.
Yeah, man, it's about damn time, man. But now Brian looked good when he took it down. Yeah, man. And I would hope that if I get to that point, man, and my shit starts thinning or I comb it over, like one of you fine gentlemen say, dude, it's time. Like, hey, man. So
yeah, same here, man.
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate, man. I haven't lost it yet.
So hopefully,
technology. We could just give them plugs. Let's do some. You doesn't have to have like the 1990s plugs where it looks really bad and it's scattered. It looks like your head's a colander. But
I'm sure Plan B pulled him to the side and said, "It's time, brother.
Yeah,
it's time."
Yeah.
He looks good, man. He looks good. I like the new look, man. I like the new look.
Yeah, I like it too, man. I like it too.
Yeah, I like
his head's a little round, so it's kind of Humpty Dumpty in my opinion. So I think
if anybody notices a head, it's Barry.
Yeah. He's got that Lex Luthor look about him.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Fowler, what do you think, man? What do you think about that?
Old Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Dr. Evil.
I was gonna say they sounded really positive. Like, if you think about it, right, we're coming back, like, if this is the 30 days, right, like, we're coming up to the 30 days mark. If this is truly the 30 days, they are not sweating, right? Unless they're not showing it. I mean, they might be, hiding. Maybe they got a great poker face, but, like, I didn't hear, like, a lot of almost, like, worry or any type of, like, I felt like they were confident in what they're producing. Like, whatever is in the background that we don't see, they seem to feel confident about it, right? And that's one thing that's one thing of leadership. Like, you present that confidence, like, and your people are going to see that confidence. And that's what I saw. I saw confidence. Like, I saw, like, hey, man, our stuff don't stink. You know what I'm saying? Like, we the shit. Like, we the shit. And that's what you want. But it doesn't have to be in a rah-rah way, right? Like, they're like, listen, be calm, guys. Everything's going to be all right. We have they literally said we had no feeling in our bones, basically, that anything's going to be delayed. Right. And like, yeah, they did allude to a little bit of like, well, if this isn't, if you do testnet and we're not ready, we're not going to launch. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's what I heard. And that doesn't mean a delay. That just means like, hey, if we put this testnet out here and it seems like projects are struggling for whatever reason, we're not going to hit the launch button on some, we just want to get this out here. No, that's basically what they're telling you. Like, if it ain't right, we're going to delay. And there's nothing wrong saying that. And I am encouraged by hearing that, because that tells me they would rather quality over that quantity, trying to get whatever buck they can get out there. No, they want quality. That means they want to impress when they get out there, because everybody, like, just in the AMA, people are talking about 10 cent, right? You don't want to push out there and trip and fall straight on your fucking face.
No doubt.
Like, you don't want that to happen. And they are saying to you, if it even looks like an inkling of a chance of this is not going to be a fresh, stable launch, we're going to delay it. And that, to me, I just was like, I don't need to ask any questions up in there, because I'm set. I'm good. That means if we got to wait another 30 days, hell,
okay, fine, let's do another 30 days. But I want this thing when it's out there. I don't want to be the ones on the 5-6 months later when they're saying, oh, Vulcan blockchain was doing 2-3 billion out there, and then out of nowhere, boom, it came crashing because for whatever reason something.
Or worse yet, somebody hacks it.
Yeah, or somebody hacks. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
All the magic money goes disappearing. What happens? We all know what happens.
Yeah.
So let's not have that. Let's make sure all the vulnerabilities and stuff is secure. There's no vulnerabilities in the project itself, and let's make sure we do this right. And that's what I heard today.
Yeah, man, I'm with you 110%. And I think like Barry was saying, he mentioned about some of the personnel being incompetent. I don't necessarily think they're incompetent. I think they don't have the biggest team. I mean, you've got Algo, who just launched, and they had thousands of people on their staff. You know, we don't have that. Vulcan doesn't have that large of a team. So I think you have many people wearing many different hats. And I said this before, so they're probably overworked, underpaid, and definitely underappreciated. So, I think that's probably part of it. I don't necessarily think they're, not competent or incompetent. I think there's just a lot of work to be done and not enough people to get it done. So, and
I'm sorry, I wasn't calling them incompetent. I'm saying maybe we need more and more competent people. We add those to the team, not saying they're incompetent.
Oh, God. Okay, sorry, Bear. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I apologize, man. Sorry.
But yeah, that wasn't my intent. So, but
I was
I'm
writing
sure
you a nasty little message, man.
Oh no, I'm sure we have some great people. Maybe we just need more because there's only so much one person or two people or three people could do.
Yeah,
but maybe the team keeps doubling.
If anything,
but at the same time, that takes money. That takes money to get people on the team. Yeah.
I will say this, guys. As I am in technology, I manage. Obviously, I'm an infrastructure guy, so my niche is infrastructure. A company needs servers. They need a complete network installation. They need security and all these things. I come in and take care of that. 1 second, I'm hearing some.
I got some feedback there, Broham.
I'm not sure where that's coming from.
It's gone.
Right. So what I was saying is, so with that, I also work with a lot of software developers. In fact, one of my best friends owns a software development company here in North Texas, and I've absolutely, without a doubt, I've handed over a lot of referrals to him for a lot of my customers, and he has 5 to 8 key guys, okay, and he'll staff up when he needs to. Because one of the things I learned from him when it comes to development is you don't want 30 hands in a pot. So if they've got 8 guys, 9 guys, I'm okay with that, because I understand that you don't want, like I said, you don't want 30 people working on the same thing, because it's going to muddy the waters. You want to be able to isolate and execute, right? So when I heard 8 people, I'm like, okay, that's good. That means they've got a core.
Yeah,
that's a core. So I can definitely, I definitely would think that they staff up when needed. Something's come up relative to the blockchain on onboarding or adding something to, I guess, to the code or whatever. They're going to go out and find that guy that can do that quickly, efficiently, and then bring him on board, have him do his thing, and then probably let him go or move him on to a different project. But so even with me, I mean, I have my core guys, and when I need to staff up, I do. But at the end of the day, I don't need 40 guys working on one account, or one project. I've got them spread out. So I with that being said, I can give the team some grace, because I kind of understand. I mean, to my knowledge, I've never built a blockchain, but I know it's not rocket science. However, but I mean, they're popping up all over the place, right? It seems. We got somebody joining us. What's going on, Con?
What's up, Con?
But I am giving them the grace, and kind of back to what Barry was saying, that there was some allusion to, not illusion, but alluding to. We don't like that word illusion, right, guys? No more illusions, guys. But alluding to
that was Prado's word.
Yeah, Prado's word, bro. I think he even put it on a T-shirt, man. But as far as alluding to there's a possible delay, I'm agreeing with Fowler on this. I didn't get that at one bit. I didn't get there was going to be a delay or they're preparing us for a delay. What I got was everything seems to be on track, But if there is a delay, it's because the projects haven't had enough time to test. And back to projects, we have no, this is the team saying we don't have control over the development of the projects and their teams. All we can do is provide test net for them if they haven't, or if they haven't yet, I'm not sure yet, but, and then they take it from there, right? And then those project teams do their development. So they can't press a button and then have, 30 projects ready to go. They're waiting on the projects, and they're all going to be at different levels, different development stages. So, I mean, they're not all going to be ready to go day one, at least my understanding. I would love for that. And you guys already know if we hit 30 projects day one, I'm going to be giving away 1 Bitcoin. So we're going to be talking about that later on the night. But anyways, so I don't think there's a delay. I don't think they were alluding to a delay. I think they were just being fully transparent that if there is a delay, this is going to be the reason why. Now, if it's a different reason, we can go back and hold them to account for what they said. But at this point, this is what they said, so I'm going to stick with that. I don't know. This is what I believe, and I will know at that point, right? And that's, you know, I always talk about belief is the enemy of knowing. So I'm going to believe you until I know otherwise. So I'll give them that much grace. But with that being said, with the AMA, I agree with you guys. It was Barry was very, made a good point that it was they felt like they were very transparent. They're like, just coming out and just talking to us. It wasn't like, guys, we got amazing. It wasn't like, it wasn't any hype. It was just straight up, hey, we're having a talk. You guys want to talk? Let's talk. This is where we're at. This is where we're going. So let's see we'll see you at the, at the end of the road. And so that's what I got from it. But I mean, you guys have anything different to add to that? That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, like I said, that's exactly how I feel. Like, I mean, I don't see a delay. I don't feel like they're gonna, like, they feel it's a delay. And when it comes to the as far as like, how are we going to launch this and not, have to worry about having this big issue, right? Like, this is how you do it. Like, make sure it launches properly, right? Like, that's what everybody should want. Now, I know there's some people out there that's just like feeling like, I gotta get to my bag and all this stuff. Well, guess what, man? If you think your bag is gonna sit there with exploits and stuff, vulnerable, right? You might as well kiss that bag goodbye. So then that can happen. That can literally happen the second you hit go.
Well, plus, if you did that, if you're sitting there waiting for your bag to be released, then at that point you over invested, and that's kind of rule number one in crypto: is don't invest more than you can afford to lose. So
that's number one in life.
That's on you. Yeah, that is number one in life, but that's on you at that point. So, unfortunately, we all do get we get those big ideas in our head, and this looks great coming down the pipe, and oh my God, I'm going to be a millionaire, so I'm going to dump everything I have into this bag, and you can't do that. So if you've done that, I'm sorry if there is a delay. I agree. I don't think there's going to be a delay. And I think Brian even said before, if things go as planned, there's not going to be a delay. So I think what they were speaking about today is just that if there's a monkey wrench that happens to pop up, if something unforeseen, that they have to really dig in and fix. But I think as long as things go as planned, I think March 1st is as good as golden. We might be seeing testnet sometime this coming week. So, and he did say that they need testnet up for at least a month. So this coming week would be perfect.
Oh yeah, perfect.
The reason why I said about the locking up, because like I said, it's maybe they weren't overinvested at the time, but their life situation changed or something happened or whatever, and they just want to have access to their money. But you're right, people do overinvest, and I think that brings up a good point is you maybe not overinvesting for now, but if something happens to you, you still have a cushion. So you have to factor in, things that still go awry in your life in the future. So you have to have savings. So that's important. Is all your savings just in crypto?
I was actually going to add to that what you're saying, Barry and N.R. Well, hi, by the way. It's just we've all been a part of some projects that have done delays at last second or don't tell you until the literal last second. And for some people, Obviously, you tell them not to over leverage. Don't put every single dollar they have into it. Don't put more than like 20% of your net worth into it. But who the hell are you kidding? 80% of the people in the space are doing that. So when you delay, you just create more of a negative sentiment. And plus, like you said, like, just I guess from anyone else's point of view, the funds are locked up. You can't use them, and then that just snowballs from there. But at the moment, I don't hear or see anything, but I just have kind of PTSD that I've seen in other communities of when it keeps being pushed back. It gets to a point where people just don't give a crap anymore. And I just don't want to see that. But most people that have money tied into it, after the rebasing and everything, they're probably like, oh well, I could have paid off this bill for this health thing or something like that, and then it to just have a possibility of being delayed again. It's just going to hurt their sentiment towards the project. So
makes sense.
I hope so. I hope that doesn't. But I didn't get any indication myself from that it wasn't. But by that logic, though, we should see a beta net this week, as Biz Entertainment is saying here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Biz is quite on point with that, with 20 plus full nodes already alpha testing, that it's likely to happen. So yeah, I mean, my fingers are crossed that we'll see that. I mean, I know Barry said he'd like to see an AMA every week. That would be nice. I would like to see more of some of the other guys on the team. I do understand if they're busy working, I'd rather them, instead of coming out and talking to us, keep your asses working. Let's get this thing launched on time and get it launched properly. But I mean, I get it. Yeah, man. I get it though. It is nice to kind of keep everybody, because, when people are sitting on their hands, their minds start wandering and people start, things start to go negative a little bit. And like you said, their money's locked up. They get PTSD from other projects. And I mean, I get that. We're humans and we start thinking the worst, unfortunately. But, it would be nice to hear a little bit more from the team. But I think as they get news, as we come closer to March 1st, I think February is going to be a big month for what's coming, especially mid to the end of February. As we approach that March 1st, we're going to start hearing a lot of news every day, every week. There's going to be something new. It's going to be pretty exciting. I think that's what we have to look forward. I think that's what we have to look forward to in February.
Do you think, I have a good question for you guys. Do you think all of the full nodes are going to be up and running
at on March 1st?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think
my guesstimate is half, honestly, because we're only at 100 so far, 120, something like that. Last time I checked. Sounds about right. But they did say there's nothing to worry about. They're still going to split the rewards between all node holders. So so it'll only be between the ones that are actually active. If those other ones aren't active, then they're not getting any.
Well, there's rewards and then there's transaction fees, right?
Yeah, transaction ones.
Right.
So if you're not online on the net or on the main net, you're not getting any of the gas transactions. But
correct.
The rewards themselves, that is what I heard the same, is that will be allocated from the flex. That will be distributed accordingly.
It'll just be treated as a normal wallet then at that point. Just holding the coins. Okay. So then realistically, I don't know. That's interesting to think about, though.
Well, I guess that's one of those things. As we get closer, if they're not going to have all of the nodes up and running, there'll have to be a little bit more clarification as how they're going to handle that, how they're going to work that, what the time frame is going to look like to bring them all online, and so forth. So, again, I'm not stressing. I think we'll get there. We'll get there. So, and I'm sure the team will address it.
I'm a person who's not overinvested. It's like I don't need the money. I've got some savings, right? But they talked about expectations in the AMA, and because I'm a mid to long-term investor, it's like do I care if they launch March versus June or July? No, it doesn't bother me at all.
Right on.
Yeah, so it's just that but I understand the people who have whose life situations have changed. But it's like, am I going to sweat if it doesn't launch in March? No. Am I going to sweat if it doesn't launch in April? No. If I'm going to sweat, May, June? No. July? Yeah, maybe July. But I'm going to give them the time and the leash that they need to get stuff done, and I'm not going to be all butthurt about it. So my expectations are further out.
Right on. So we got I don't know if you can see or not, Barry, but we just got a new guest on the show here. Good day,
What's going
Crypto.
on?
Sean Clark just joined
What
us.
the heck?
What's
going
up,
on,
Sean?
Welcome to America.
The most beautifully Nirvana person in the crypto space.
Yeah, man.
100%, man. 100%. What's going on, Sean?
Oh, good to see you. When I tuned in, I think you guys were just all talking about the delay of the launch and sort of adjusting expectations or the mentality around that. Can I just quickly share a couple of my thoughts in regards
Of course.
to that?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So I think maybe, I don't know how long it was ago, but in one of my videos, I said for people, if you can have the mentality that it may happen in February, but if you start planning a couple of months out, if it's money you can afford to lose, it doesn't really matter how long it's going to take. You want them to come out with the working.
Oh, we lost you, brother.
I should be back.
There you go.
But basically, sorry about that. My wife is trying to call.
You're good.
Like, however long it takes, you'd rather they come out with the finished product. It goes with all of crypto. So if they're going to take a little bit longer, so be it. You'd rather have like assurance that it's going to work, it's going to do what it needs to do. I guess the biggest thing is, I think some of you were touching on as well earlier, if you've put in too much, confirm, and I heard this, like if you're not investing responsibly, you're going to freak out about these things. Maybe take that as a lesson and don't put so much in. Like you knew it was a sacrifice, and the definition of sacrifice is you're giving up your funds, and it's up to the team really to do whatever they want with it. So the risk within that is, are they going to do what they say they're going to do? We think they are doing what they're doing. There's a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of marketing, a lot of energy, a lot of money has gone out to build this thing. So of course, if it takes a little bit longer, it's crypto. Rest easy. If you went through the sacrifice and you believe in the team or you believe in the product or the code, just take a chill pill. I don't know, maybe get off the Discord, get out, where there's maybe like toxic conversation or something, and then just listen to people maybe that are here that are very level-headed and just saying like it'll be when it'll be, and that's when the game show starts. But if you're panicking, you're probably invested too much, and just take that lesson forward for next time. Be like, all right, next time there's a sacrifice, I'm not going to overinvest because it could take longer than what I'm expecting. That's the way sort of I think about that.
No, you're 100%. I 1000% agree with you, Sean. You know, I've been following you since I think your first video, man, back in Seifu. So I really appreciate you jumping on, man. I've never really had the opportunity to share a screen with you, man. So I feel kind of like, you know, can I get your autograph and stuff, man? But no, but I definitely agree with you. And you know, when I would listen to you, because I think you'd be on. For me, it'd be like 6 a.m. or something when I'm up, you know, getting ready to leave the house. And I'm just catching your video that you probably posted. Sometimes you were live, but I'm sitting there agreeing with you every time because you have such a great, just a common sense approach to everything, not just crypto, but life. And so I appreciate that because it needs to be said more and more and more. It needs to be said more what you're saying right now than WAGMI. We're all going to make it because I have a video coming out about what I think about WAGMI. So I may piss some of you off, but it's okay. But you're gonna understand why I feel the way I feel about it. But again, Sean, I definitely agree with you, man. So I appreciate that. And in fact, I want to pull up a comment. What did they say specifically about you? It says, yeah, there was many, man. You got people in the comments.
Yeah, man.
But
one happy to see you, brother.
I'm trying to find it, but it was like, oh, here it is right here. He said, nothing more peaceful in crypto than hearing Good Day Crypto's voice again. Love you, man. Please be a regular on Sunday night, man. So yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, absolutely. We plan to do some regulars here at N.R and I. So we hope you can join us, man. You can take 5 minutes. 5 minutes can change 5 months of someone's life just from everything that's in your head. So we appreciate you, man. 100%.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Cryptonian. We're going to have to connect after this in Discord, and I will
Absolutely.
line that up. One of the other things, you know, that I've tried to say the whole time is nobody ever went broke taking profits. Like if you're spinning out about this, like and excuse the language, but somewhere you have fucked up. Like, there's so many profit-taking opportunities throughout Seifu's crypto history. Like, this WAGME or HODL and stuff, like with Bitcoin and stuff, like HODL, hold on for dear life, works well if you're buying in like 2013, but you still want to be able to sell and you want to take profits. So when it goes down, you can either reinvest or you can just let it house money ride. So for everyone watching, when Vulcan Seifu comes out, and if there is a big pump, take out your initial, take out 2x your initial, whatever it is. Don't just think it's going to keep going up and up and up and up and up, because that's bullshit mentality. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Dangerous.
Yeah, not with any project. And
but what happens if it does a 20x?
And that's bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, and it may do, but if it's all house money and you're letting some ride, or you've taken out your initial, like, who cares? Who cares if you only got a 5x or a 10x or a 3x, and you've still got a little bit to play, but you're not worrying. You're not looking at the price charts. You're not going into the Discord creating FUD or Hopium, or same with you, Cryptonian. I'm going to come out with a video tonight, and heaps of people are going to hate it. But same thing, that WAGME mentality, or when Lambo, like, that is all absolute rubbish. It's not helpful for anyone.
Yeah.
And then people, you know, there's a guy, like the legendary man who never sold within the Seifu Discord, and like, good on him, but I think that's a pretty piss poor example for everyone else, because we get into crypto to be able to create whatever it is that we want in our lives. It's not a bank. You put it in there, you make your money, you can leave a little bit in there. If it goes to the moon, it goes to the moon. But if you've taken your profits out when they're given, and you may not get profits in every single protocol, but if you've got that mentality of taking profits through whatever it is, well then, if one fails or it doesn't launch when you think it is, you're sitting easy and it's all good.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's having a plan. It's having a plan. You know, anytime we get into, or I've gotten in some sort of business venture, in anything really, I'm gonna renew my auto insurance, you know, or my warranty for my car. I'm looking at the contract. I'm looking for the exit strategy. How do I get out of this contract that I'm in? Now you can say, well, what do you mean? I'm not in a contract with crypto. Yeah, the hell you are. You're throwing your money in expecting something. That's a contract you made. There's no gun to your head to sign it, you know, to do that swap. But the point is you get really pissed off when they don't execute as you thought it would. So yeah, it's a contract, right? It goes without saying. So you always got to give yourself an exit strategy, a plan B, I like to say, or actually, I actually have a plan D. I'm always thinking about worst case scenario. And with every scenario, A, B, C, and D, I've got a plan for each one. What if this, what if this, what if this, what if this? So that way the punch to the stomach doesn't take me down. You know, it enables me to pivot. If you guys know how to box, it's all about dodging those hits, but you're going to get hit. What are you going to, how are you going to counter that is my point. And I've learned with vesting and life and everything, you've got to learn to pivot. And so have a plan. And, you know, I've never heard you've never gone broke by taking profit. The first time I've heard that was from you, Sean, months ago. And I wrote that shit down, man. I wrote it down, and it's in my head now. You know, and that actually saved me a lot from losing my ass and all the projects that I'm in. So I appreciate that. I'm telling you, you know, you're throwing things out there that people need to hear that they've never really thought about. You know, well, they hear it, but they're not thinking about it. And I hope that we, you know, everybody on the stage can help those out there that are investing in crypto, that we can teach them to. I mean, we can't guarantee you're not going to get hit in the face, you know, but what we can guarantee is we can guarantee we're going to guarantee you're going to get hit in the face. But what we can also guarantee is that how we learn to deal with it, right? You know, my dad should tell me, you know, you just got to roll with the punches, right? Everybody's heard that. And that's the truth. And I've been punched a lot, especially in crypto, because those hits come fast. You know, you're going to bed in profit, you wake up, you know, you get up a couple hours later, just get a glass of water and you're freaking a negative 20%. Like, what the hell just happened, right? I mean, I literally just laid down. But anyway, so we can definitely, I think, really change the space. And I know you hear that, it's very cliche-ish. And, you know, I just want to, you know, when I got into crypto, or I started talking and speaking all my nonsense here, I was like, I just want to help people, you know, and, well, what is it that I'm trying to help? Well, I'm trying to keep them, if I possibly can, from making the same mistakes that I've made in crypto and life and all that stuff. But when you lose your money, man, it's personal, right? It's very personal. We've all experienced that. So I hope that we can, everybody on this stage right now, that hope that we all have got something to bring to the table to help everybody listening. I promise you that. You know, every single one of us we're saying these things because we've learned something. You know, this isn't, we didn't wake up and go, oh, I just know everything. No, we're like, damn, I just made a mistake. So we're going to hopefully show you how not to make those mistakes and pretty much come up with a plan as Sean has always said, you know, have a plan. And and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And that reminds me of one of my favorite quotes that I used to tell myself here. And it's, you know, remember that nothing can bring you success but yourself. Waste no time on expectations, but all time on cultivating the possibilities. So the reason I brought up this quote, because when I listened to the AMA this morning, they talked about expectations. There was a lot of people expecting on March 1st or January 20th to just be millionaires. Okay. It would have been great. You know, if they would have launched the blockchain and everything, it would have been awesome. But if you put your hope in others, you will be disappointed, guys. That's just the way it is. So what I've learned is I put my hope in myself. And how do I do that? So what I'm doing is I'm creating a plan. When we realized it wasn't going to be launched in January, the end of January, I said, okay, what's plan B? They got pushed to March. Okay, what if it doesn't happen in March? So I've got a plan all the way to December, provided the project just doesn't go away, obviously. But so I've got a plan. You know, I'm in this for the long run. I'm not just hoping and closing my eyes and, you know, and saying wag me and doing spirit fingers, hoping everything works out, because it doesn't work that way, right, guys? But yeah, so again, this is what I think about daily. You know, I waste no time on expectations. I don't expect anything from anyone, you know, but I put all my time in cultivating the possibilities. And we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes about ONUS. And that's kind of what this is all about. But all right, I'm sorry for ranting again, guys, but you know, I kind of do that a lot.
I was actually gonna hit you in there in a second. Kind of on that, like the wag me kind of thing. What has happened in the past couple days? Everyone knows. Seifu went up a crap ton, just randomly, just went from 20 to 33. And some part of me knows when we broke a resistance at 26 cents, I sold. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy back in around 15, 13 when it decides to do that, which it should have. But, you know, the manipulative whales came in, whoever those three wallets are, they came in and bought $180,000 worth of the volume when it was only 200,000 for the day. I'm like, that's a little suspicious. So I'm not getting in on that. But I made 3 videos in a row this week, and they probably didn't hit too well with some other people, of me trying to emphasize the fact that, yeah, we all gonna make it. But at the same time, I don't like saying that, but everyone just kind of looking at the price. It's up 30%, 50%, you know, saying, you know, the past little while. And everyone's just sitting there, you know, gnawing and chomping at the bits saying, I need to get into this. Even part of myself, I can feel myself kind of sitting there. And I'm just like, why the hell didn't I buy it? It's like, why didn't I do it at 23 or 26? But I'm like, the risk outweighing the reward and trying to, but you know, most people that don't think like that would have just bought in like right now. And then say tomorrow it goes down 30 cents, 30%, they would have freaked out. But it's just having that mentality and understanding what you're getting yourself into. And I was actually going to get on to what Sean was kind of saying. I love your quote, buddy. It's a really nice quote, because I was back in July, August, September in Seifu, kind of just letting it ride forever. And I'm doing my TA and doing the centralized exchange stuff, but I hadn't done well in DeFi. DeFi, everyone kind of does really bad at, unless you get the one that outweighs the rest. And his quote got me, because when I actually heard that, I was like, you know what? I'll start doing an ROI on it. And I'm happy I did, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have made what I did, at least getting the money back that I had put in. Because as we know, steadily over time, it went down. So that man is, even if you're not going to use him for financial advice, because you shouldn't use no one here for financial advice, really.
Not at all.
It's all up to you. But he had Cryptonian N.R, and it started off with Good Day Crypto, just giving some really good life knowledge on how to just not only apply it to money, but apply it to just how you handle social experiences with other people. And it's just just listen to these other very knowledgeable men is definitely a great idea. And that's what I'm getting at, is you have to understand when to take profits. And yeah, you might sell early and miss out on 10%, but does that negate the 30% you just made? And that's the problem. Part of you wants to keep holding for the rest. But say if you sold 50% or 70% of your bag with only 30% and you have 30% left and that does another 4 or 5x, well, cool. You made the X amount on that smaller portion, but at least if that portion went to 0, you still made a portion with your other half. So
no doubt.
Sean is just a person that inspired me to actually start taking that sort of accountability for my actions. Because before that, even I'm just a diehard hodler, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be married to a crypto anymore. I'm just going to start doing stuff around everything, and we can all have the asset you want to go back to at the end of the day and keep putting money in and just letting it hodl forever. But don't do it with everything, because you're bound to get wrecked. And I'm sure if everyone figured out within the past year, that was not a good strategy for a lot of other cryptos.
Yeah, no doubt. Mm-hmm. And to add to that, I've had hours upon hours of conversation with Sean Clark, and I'll say that in addition to being a good guide as far as your journey in crypto, the man is very knowledgeable and just a wonderful guy, just on life in general. He's got a lot of life experience and just a genuine good soul. So he's got a lot of stuff to bring to the table, and I appreciate you, Sean. Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah,
good
stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, man.
Thank you, and I'm sure my videos going forward are going to continue to piss people off, and I hope they do, because if there's something that doesn't resonate, what is it? Is it because you've got such a long-held belief that's in there and it's messing with your mentality? Maybe take the time to journal or reflect or see what it is that any of us that is saying that you don't agree with so strongly, and maybe reflect and find out if that's just an interesting point of view that you're holding that no longer serves you. And one other thing, thanks for all the kind words, gentlemen. We're all just people. We're all just trying to provide the information. But one of the best things for me was stepping outside of that echo chamber of Seifu. Like I haven't been around for a long time. And nor am I going to make videos like I used to, because I think the hopium, the WAGMI, it doesn't serve anyone. And I always try to drop those nuggets in there. But one of the greatest things for me was moving myself out of that echo chamber, looking at other projects, seeing what else is out there. And for everyone watching, it may give you more convictions to go harder into what you're already in and put all your eggs in one basket and watch that basket really closely, or you may start diversifying. But if you're only looking at one project, talking to the same people about the same thing, everyone's saying Lambo tomorrow, millionaire, WAGMI, and then it doesn't happen and everything's in there, well, then you're going to start blaming other people for it. But actually the onus is on you for not being responsible for yourself and seeing that, like, DeFi is amazing, crypto is amazing. It is the greatest revolution, alongside probably AI, and they're going to merge strongly over the next couple of years. But when you can see what else is out there, maybe you go harder, whether it's into Vulcan or Seifu or Bitcoin or Ethereum. But you should only do that responsibly if you've seen what else is out there, who's trying to do it. Like, is Ethereum the best? Is Binance Smart Chain the best? Is Cardano the best? Or should we just stick to Bitcoin? Or should you go and be full degen? And then if you're looking like at Seifu or Vulcan, because Seifu is still standing, what else is out there? Are there better rebasing protocols? And their tokenomics may be better, but maybe the community is stronger with Seifu. And the community, like the Seifu community, is incredible. They're very strong. And sometimes that can outweigh the fundamentals of the project. And you need to take that into account. But that's part of doing your own research, and that's something everyone has to do themselves. And you can get a bit from YouTube listening to everyone, but you can't just listen to one person and take what they say as gospel. It's not going to help you at all.
Right.
Well said, brother. Well said. So let me ask you this, Sean, since you haven't been around in the Seifu, now Vulcan community for quite some time, what are your thoughts and feelings since you've kind of exited, being here every day and just in the daily mix of things? What is your kind of thoughts and feelings upon, them switching from Seifu to Vulcan and kind of to where we're at right now, getting ready to go into the blockchain launch? I think not just us here on the panel would love to hear your thoughts, but I'm sure everybody watching would as well. So if you drop a little bit of that on us, definitely appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, obviously with all the FUD, whether it was warranted or not, through Seifu, all those attacks, defamation of character, aimed towards certain people, created a really bad name. Like Seifu everywhere else within the DeFi community doesn't have a good rap, and that's the fact. If you go into any other Discord, hardly anyone really speaks about it highly. And that's the truth. It's not my personal opinion, but that is what it is. Changing the name to Vulcan from Seifu or Seifu X just makes that a step apart. Like even on CoinGecko with that warning about Seifu and stuff, if they kept Seifu X, they're going to get that warning pop up straight away again. And that's not going to be very helpful, especially as they integrate with layer one, and decentralized exchange and stuff, and they are their own layer one. They need to move away, do things right, and then just totally rebrand. So I think ultimately it's a good thing, and it's probably going to create longer longevity for the project. However long that lasts, nobody knows. It may fall flat straight away, and be prepared for that. But also be prepared if it goes to the moon. Either way, like Cryptonian was saying, have a plan A, B, C, and D. So you're ready for whatever eventuates, and you can roll with the punches. But I think that change was the right thing. One thing I've always said about Brian is he is a master marketer. Like, he knows how to market, whether I agree with the man or not. That doesn't matter. He's so good at that, and I think it was a very smart move from there. The changes in regards to the rebasing, the nodes, we need to take personal responsibility because we went through a sacrifice. We handed over our tokens. So really what we think, it actually doesn't mean shit. Did we make those? Really? But did we do that, or did people buy nodes, light nodes? Did they invest more? Did they go into the Bitcoin extravaganza with more on the hope of getting those rebases through it, and then they were just cut off? A lot of people did do that, and they're obviously frustrated, and they don't agree with the team. And I actually, personally, I don't think it's neither good or bad. Like, it just happened, and I actually couldn't care because it was a sacrifice. But people were sold like a certain dream, and that dream has changed. Has it changed to be more sustainable? Like, we're only going to see that in the future. All of DeFi is an experiment. So that's sort of the way I really think about it, is actually none of it matters. Whatever the team chooses to do, the team can choose to do. It's their project. We sacrificed. We've given them our tokens. They don't even need to give them back. Like, that's the definition of a sacrifice. We've given them over. They're not ours at the moment. Will we get them back? I'm 98% certain we will. There's egos on the line. People want to save face, and they want to come out with something that I think the right word's magnus opus, like their thing that they bring out into the world. They want to do these things. So I believe they're doing the best. And then if you take away Seifu and you're just thinking about how it stands now, it's a lot better than what it was. The tokenomics, the rebasing, blockchain, something that just inflates forever. We saw that with Seifu. The price just went down and to the right, not up and to the right. So reducing that will probably give it more legs to stand on. Is it revolutionary? I don't know. It depends who adopts it, who starts building on it. With LSC and stuff, to be able to do the weekly giveaways, they had pinned the NFT on rebasing. 50% would go out to the winners, and that's a good project. Because the fundamentals of Seifu Vulcan have changed, they've changed with that. But what are other people going to be able to build through Vulcan? Like, we're only going to see, is it that revolution that it used to be? It definitely doesn't have that marketing angle of 191,000% or whatever it used to be. But Brian, as a master marketer, will find some way to be able to spin it. It'll be the latest, greatest revolution. But then So that's one thing, and that may be the fundamentals for it. So take that into account. But then you really need to watch, especially those 3 whale wallets. They're going to sell 100%. They're not friendly. They're never friendly. Don't buy into any bullshit that they're there to hold and profit. Get out before them. See one sell. Not financial advice, but I'd get out before the other two do. But yeah, we'll see with user adoption in regards to it. A rebasing blockchain, does that work? Because rebasing means you've got like an inflationary supply, which is the same as the US dollar. It just loses its value. That's what inflation is designed to do. You have less purchasing power. But will people utilize that to be able to come up with something that keeps that price linear or at least even? Or your rebase outweighs it? Did that happen with Seifu? No, it didn't. They've reduced the tokenomics like thousands of percent, 191,000% pretty much. So it's more like it isn't really rebasing, but it's in there a little bit, so it's a marketing angle. But we'll just see with user adoption. At the moment, I don't really have any opinion on it. I don't see a revolution right now because there is no revolution. Like there's nothing out there now. The revolution only comes when it's out and it starts pumping or it doesn't pump or people start building and using the chain.
That's right.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us, Sean. I know everybody was kind of curious to hear what your thoughts were on, kind of where we are now at this point. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, definitely good insight. Because you've been on the outside looking in for a bit, right? We're still in the middle of it. So, yeah, so I was definitely wondering what your thoughts were. I haven't seen you talk about Vulcan or Seifu or Seifu X, as you once did. So I appreciate that, Yeah, man. And it's absolute truth. You're right. We've sacrificed, and I'm in the same boat you are. I mean, I'm 98% positive it's going to happen. That 2%, there's always, it's Murphy's Law. If something's going to go wrong, it will. That's just the way life is, right? So I definitely appreciate that insight.
Yeah, man. No doubt. But I do think that the move to Vulcan, and I think we've all talked about this, I think that, going to more of a corporate structure, getting it out of the hands of one man, I think that was a brilliant move. I think that had to happen. So I think the rebranding was a must, no doubt. I think I've said that before numerous times, and we've had that chat. So, yeah, I think the rebranding was definitely a good one. What do you guys think about the firestorm? The vaporization of tokens.
I actually have something to add.
Sorry, Concern. I just want to love you and leave you. I've got to keep carrying on.
I knew you didn't have much time, Sean. So thanks for giving us what you had.
Thanks, man.
Brother.
Thanks, man. We'll appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll see you again, Sean. Thanks, man.
You're always welcome, my friend.
Miss him already.
All right, buddy.
Love you all. Peace.
Oh, so I was going to ask, so what did you guys think about that AMA and the fact that there wasn't a bunch of Louis Vuitton in the background and he's also bald?
That was key. I mean, it's definitely Ninja coming in and saying, "Hey, man, get rid of the Louis shit. It's not a good look. It's people have sacrificed money to you. People have lost money. Yeah, people have made money in Seifu, but people have lost money. I mean, that's kind of why WAGMI doesn't work. Some people win, some people lose. I mean, that's kind of what it is. But
I'm sure we've been in many projects that scream WAGMI, and you're looking at the chart, and it's like 95% down. You're like, hold the hell up.
But I think
what letter am I on right now?
So they came in, they said, "Look, man, take the Louis shit out of the background. It's not a good look." And he listened. He wasn't. He actually listened. So that tells me he's listening to advisors around him. Whether it's from his hair to the Louis shit behind him, the man's listening. He's not being stubborn. Yeah. He's I've said it before. He's got that CEO narcissistic personality, and most narcissists basically, when you try to tell them something or give them advice, they give you the finger. But to me, that's optimistic. It tells me that he's listening to people around him. And I think that's a very positive and a good sign for us as investors.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Because when I saw that, I was like, "Where the hell is the Louis Vuitton? Why isn't he wearing it?" I'm like, you know what? He's being more relatable. He's looking like any one of us coming on, and what he has the demeanor of being, because he is a CEO, and he is not of that anymore. He's just co.
Yep. And I gotta agree with Inspire Life Goals here. I'm right there with you. I think that's 110% what they were going for, and I think they nailed it right on the head.
Yep, I agree 100% as well.
Well, that's the good thing now is that he's not just the sole leader. It's everyone else around him. So everyone has to reflect that sort of mentality that he is now. Everyone has to be on that same level. He cannot stand out any more than anyone else does because they all have equal say in what happens. So I like that demeanor now, especially with him being up there with Mathos yesterday. Or it's like this morning.
Agreed. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of the other guys come out and start doing some of the AMAs and giving us some of the information and just being out front a little bit more. I'm kind of surprised that they're still sticking with Brian, just because they did the branding change and things of that nature. I was looking for him to take a little bit more of a step back. Haven't quite seen that yet, but
but you described his personality. I don't think he will. He definitely won't.
True. I mean, but like you said, now he's more part of a team. I mean, the other guys do have a say. If it's 3 against 1, I mean, hey, take your ass and sit in the back, brother.
It would probably be weird. I wonder. It would probably be smart in my mind to put someone. I don't want to say puppet, but someone that give a different face for it. But at the same time, I mean, because I was intrigued because I went through his videos on YouTube. None of the Seifu stuff all the Seifu stuff is still there. I was wondering if it was going to be purged so that it wasn't, along with the Vulcan stuff. But I wonder if that would be a thing for them to get a new kind of face for it once it actually starts to launch, so that it just starts
kind of like Barry was saying with like a press secretary, somebody like that.
Yeah,
I could see that. I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea. So if the team's listening, I mean, I think that's a good idea. Not that we don't want to see Brian. Not that we don't want to see him. Not that we don't know he's the guy behind it and he's the guy that started this and he's the guy we all like, know, and love. But I think that might not be a bad move moving forward, just to bring in outside money, outside investors, outside projects, outside exchanges, all those types of things. So, yeah,
I think that would it'd be the kind of other sort of pivot, because we changed the name, we rebranded, we did all that. I feel like that would probably be the last step. I hate to say that, but it's just a connotation, because when you see Brian, some people like us are like, we saw the better light of the side of what's going on. Some people see that and immediately just want to run away, take the high road. So it's definitely something interesting to think about. So I wonder if they would do anything, but if they don't, they obviously know something we don't.
Yep.
True. I mean, well, the other side too is if you look at Brian's YouTube, he's got almost 60,000 subscribers. So the man does have a following. So I'm sure that has a little something to do with it. If you bring out, Damien or one of the other guys, they don't have that established base of fans. They don't have that reach. So, I mean, I get that as well.
Well, you could always change the name of a channel. You could always get rid of videos and have someone else come on it.
Yep.
Because that's what people do.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that, again, we may see that. We even heard him say they haven't really been pushing a whole lot on the marketing and even with the SEO just yet. So I think right before launch, you're going to see them pump a shit ton of money into marketing. And that's when you may see that change.
What did I hear about Vulcan Forge? You guys were talking. Did anyone talk about that at all? How did he comments about that at all on the Googles when you search Vulcan DeFi?
The SEO. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so back when all this was being teased and the socks blown off and all that shit, I don't know if you guys remember, but in our Telegram group, I threw out there Vulcan Forged. So I was not right, but I was close when they changed all the Vulcan shit. But yeah, I mean, if you Google Vulcan Forged is all over the place. And if not, I'm not mistaken, that's a metaverse play, correct, Fowler? That's a metaverse play?
Yeah, it's somewhat of it's like a trading card metaverse thing. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he didn't mention that at all, right? I thought someone told me that he mentioned something about the SEO getting kind of weird.
He just said, he just said that, you know, if you Google Vulcan, you get a bunch of other shit. You get like a racing team, you get Vulcan Forge, you get other projects and things that use the Vulcan name. And it's funny that he said that, because just yesterday, my wife and I were talking about crypto and you know, the project, and she's like, oh, where are you guys at? And what's the name? And blah, blah, blah. She's like, because I was looking it up online and I just kept finding this Vulcan Forge stuff. And it's funny that you know, that got brought up today because, again, somebody that's not in the space is Googling it and seeing that. Yeah. So
it's a lot of free marketing.
Yep.
It is. And to kind of, I guess, add to what N.R. saying, that they did admit there was like 0% of marketing has been, or I would say money has been given to SEO optimization, because my understanding based on the AMA today is because we're not even at mainnet yet.
Well, why the hell would we waste the money?
Right. So absolutely. So once we get everything going and projects are on board, then they said they're going to begin to throw money at SEO. And I work with a few companies here in Houston that deliver SEO services to just about all my clients, and it's very strategic, it's very planned. You don't just go and sign up for it. There is a plan, and it ain't gonna happen overnight. You know, there's months, there's campaigns that they take and they move forward with, that you ultimately start to see the ROI on that months later. So so I'm okay with that. You know, I never expected, in fact, I don't want to go to Vulcan Forge right now to Google, because I'm afraid people are going to say, they're going to go there and there's no blockchain yet, you know, and you get that one shot to get somebody to go to that's interested to go to your site. If it's not up and running, if it's not ready, you kind of lost that shot, you know. They may lose interest or forget later on. So, you know, when we're talking about impressions and SEO and the reach that everybody knows, if you guys have gotten into any type of SEO services, you know, Twitter, Instagram, you know, Google, all these things, it's a campaign. It's very strategic. So, but he said that they would be throwing money at it. So that's when they do, if they say they've turned it on and we don't see nothing happening, then we know something's afoot, right? But I trust that they'll make it happen.
Well, at first it's going to be their own. I know that because we're not going to be launched yet. It'll probably be in beta, still getting people on with it. So it'll be out of their own pocket for a little while before it actually comes out. So that'll be something definitely.
So go ahead. Sorry, Colin.
I was saying, it's definitely good. SEO takes time, because I myself fell a little victim to that. You know, like the crappy fast SEO that they say it's not fast.
It's not
Sorry,
fast
it's
at all,
real, but it's not. So you can blow things out of proportion and use a crappy SEO and get it seen by literally everybody that it doesn't matter. But the good SEO reaches out to the people that actually matter. They actually know the demographics. It can reach out to the people that will get the clicks. So it's definitely search engine optimization and a lot of research that go into that.
Yep, 100%. So it's definitely going to take some time for sure.
Well, didn't Brian do an SEO company? I swear to God, I remember seeing.
Yes, he did, Brian. What he did before he even got into crypto, that was one of the ways he got his millions, was an SEO company. So yes, Brian is very, very familiar with that space. Yes. Yep. In fact, good day. Yep. Sean Clark
did you know that at all?
That comment. Yeah.
Cryptonian, did you know that he was an SEO guy?
Yes. Well, I didn't know he had started a company, but I know he had he had some involvement, and I think I had read some articles on him. But you know, I know a lot of companies that are SEO guys, right? And there's no science to it. It's just it's just a lot of work.
And they're always changing the algorithm, correct?
Yeah, the algorithm. So
correct. So it's a constant battle. And there's no one way to do it. There's various strategies, and like you said, it takes time. Yeah.
I would say the one sure thing to do it is I would say that it plays a major role in any type of SEO, and that's going to be grassroots marketing, right? So if anybody knows what grassroots marketing is, it's what a company does, or any type of business, whenever they're going to start getting the word out about their branding, about their company, this product that they're offering. They're always, the most effective way of getting the word out is through grassroots, and grassroots going to be in the community. You're going to start where boots on the ground. And that kind of brings us to this whole conversation that why NR decided to even have this talk, because, and we appreciate you guys jumping on. We want to talk about ONUS because Jason mentioned the word ONUS tonight or this morning in his AMA. And if you guys want to know what ONUS is, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the ticker here. Basically, ONUS is also basically ONUS is on the Vulcan community, and ONUS is simply said is basically it's our responsibility as well. It's our
responsibility.
It's our burden. It's our responsibility as well. If we want Vulcan to change our lives, the question is, what are you doing to make sure Vulcan can change lives? What are you doing? Now, I'm not saying you have to go and apply to be a developer. You have to go start up an SEO company. I'm not saying you got to go put up billboards all over the place. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you got to go buy, football or a Super Bowl ads or anything like that. What I am saying is, and this is what Jason, he made a very good point today. He said, if you're sitting here wondering, what are you guys doing to get the word out? How, what about all these projects and everything? And he basically said, well, are you coming out with a project? What are you doing? What's your idea? Basically he's putting it on us. Like, if we want this thing, and I want Vulcan to be successful, I own a node, I have some sacrificed Vulcan, so obviously I want this to be successful. Friends and family have gotten to this thing because of my word. So I obviously have a lot at stake. Not just my money, but most importantly, my credibility with my friends and family. Okay, because I believe in it, right? And I believed in Seifu X. So because it made me some money, and I had a plan, as what Sean Clark was talking about. I never went broke because I took profit. So it's actually a true statement. So guys, ONUS is on us. It's our responsibility as a community. So what that means, guys, is if we want this to be successful. So let's say Brian spends $1 million on SEO, but if none of us talk about it, we're not in other Discords, we're not talking to our friends or family, no, we're not retweeting, we're not reposting, we're not doing something, getting the word out, it's gonna be an echo chamber. All that's gonna be wasted. So, if you've got some ideas out there, guys, if you've got a project that you think that would change the world, it's the hair on fire solution, bring it. They're looking for that. We need that. There's a lot of projects that have promised so much in this space, and they delivered nothing. So I think that Vulcan, like any other blockchain out there, Vulcan in particular has the potential to really change lives. And I'm not talking about the investors. I'm talking about somebody that has this idea. If they can only get into crypto, I've got this. If I can make a token, if anybody would listen to me, they've got the grant program. Go apply. They're giving you resources to reach that destination. If you're not using it and all you're doing is complaining, win Lambo, win taxes, win fees, win this, win that. All I can say is this. If you're sitting there complaining, you need to get out of the way, because we're all trying to make this thing work. Not for me, but for you as well. Because if I win, everybody wins. I bought into this community. I bought a piece of this network, not just to make a profit, because I really want to change the space, guys. So, and I hope that we can do that, and what we hope to do on this channel is to kind of show you guys how we're trying to do we're doing our part, essentially. NR and I and Milky are working on an actual NFT project, hope to be launched on the Vulcan blockchain. That is our priority. Why? Well, because we see the potential in the Vulcan blockchain. We're excited about it. So the question is, do you know anybody? Have you heard someone talking about another project that they want to bring to a blockchain? What are you doing? Because I would hope to believe, or I would like to believe that you guys are in other projects or in other Discords, other communities. How many times have you dropped the name Vulcan in those Discords? How many times have you retweeted? And I'm not trying to preach to you guys. I'm just trying to, basically the onus is on us. We as a community can make or break this project, bottom line. And that goes back to the thing that I said for the last week or so, is that they need us more than we need them. So we as a community, we can make this thing, we can take this thing to the moon and probably past that, So the whole WAGMI thing, you guys, what I mean by that is, I don't like that statement. Now, there are some YouTubers that we all love dearly that use that phrase all the time. Those that are believing this community and this project. and I'll go ahead and drop his name, Greek. He says it all the time. We're all going to make it. But if you listen to what he's actually saying, we're all going to make it if you're in the Greek family, because he doesn't just tell you that. He's showing you why he believes that. He's giving you his, basically, the possibility, even Prado as well. They're giving you the possibilities of this. They're not just saying we're all going to make it. He's saying this is why he thinks we're going to make it. He's not just saying it. So he's trying to educate you at the same time. And I think at the end of the day, that's what's most important. We're not all going to make it, because some of us just want to click a button and get rich. And I wish it was that simple, guys. I've been working since I was freaking 15 years old, and I haven't stopped. I'm 45 years old now. And I'm telling you, you never turn it off. But everything that I have, what little bit of success I have, is because I put the work in. And then crypto is no different. We can really, as a community, take this thing to the moon. We can do it with this project. And this is what I love about crypto. If we, as the Vulcan community, can make this project successful with word of mouth, taking on that whole ONUS mentality, imagine what we can do with the next one. They will be coming to us. We won't be going to them. That's going to be the balance of power shifting. Once they realize that, guys, the possibilities are endless. But that's all I got to say about that, guys. So thanks for listening.
I think a part of the Vulcan team knows that. I mean, I think they know that, and that's why they're transparent. That's why they do the AMAs. And I do believe that Brian, Jason, I do believe these guys know that to some degree. That's why Jason said it today. They're watching. They're in the background. They're seeing all the things that are going on. And before we even went live, we were having a little conversation about ONUS. And Fowler, if you want to jump in and say some of the things that you were talking about with some of the other communities, like we said with Shib and some of these other guys, I loved what you were saying before we even started the live, man.
Yeah, so I'm always preaching that the community has to do their part. Like, everybody has to do their part. We have a very loyal community. We know that, right? Like, the discourse are pretty much linked together. You know where you're going in the whole circle of things. But if you really look at it from the outside looking in, we're staying kind of like contained, almost like a bubble, right? We have to get outside of our bubble, because if we don't get outside of our bubble, Vulcan blockchain doesn't get outside of its bubble. Okay, just like you guys are saying, just like Cryptonians is dead on. He's saying, they need us more than we need them. But guess what? At the same time, we have that power. We have so much power. We have to get outside this bubble and start using our megaphone and start telling the world about Vulcan blockchain. Because guess what? No matter how much marketing they spend, that marketing becomes null and void if no one's actually chirping behind the marketing, right? It's almost like you could tell a family member about some company or whatever, and guess what? If that company pops up on a commercial, it's easy to show that family member, hey, look at that company I was telling you about. It's on a commercial, right? That's effective marketing, because right when that commercial hit, you have somebody there explaining already that commercial. So you're already telling somebody about something that you believe is great. The fact that it ends up on a commercial right when you're talking about it, it makes them just like, whoa, they're on TV. My loved ones tell me about this. I think I might want to, look at this. It might be some potential for the future. So knowing that, think about the opposite way. Let's say somebody throws a commercial on, but nobody's really talking about it, right? We've seen it before. We'll all be sitting on the couch. We'll see a commercial that, it may not be kind of pertaining to us, and we kind of just, whatever, we just blow it off. That's ineffective marketing. That means it's only going to touch people that relate to that commercial at that point in time. So you got to look at it like that. We have to get out, start talking to people. If not, no matter what commercial ends up on TV, it's not going to be very effective if there's nobody really talking about it behind it. It can't always, everything can't sell itself just with marketing. It just can't. It has to have reinforcement. And how do you reinforce that, right? You start hitting the share button on live streams. You start hitting the shares on people's videos. You start, and it's not sharing it to like just the same places you're already been. You got to go to the groups that's out there that's doing multiple different type of cryptos. You need to start posting those videos there. You need to start posting them in the CMC where you got the fudders up there FUD attacking us all the damn time. How about we start getting in there, start throwing our weapons and ammo at them, and start taking the fudders down by overpowering them? Because clearly we have numbers. We have more numbers than the fudders. They're just louder. And then the reason why they're louder because we're not talking back. We're not fighting back with these guys. So the way you fight back with them is share the information. The same people that you love watching every day, right? Hit share, put them in the places where those fudders are. So guess what? When people go in there to, eventually at one point when we do launch and they hit that comments tab or whatever that's on CMC, when they hit that, they just won't see nothing but FUD. They will actually see some of the positivity. They will see the videos. They'll see Cryptonian, N.R. Legend, me, Prado, on and on, Pride, everybody Greek, right? Like they'll start seeing these people like, they talking about this stuff. They seem very into it. It can't be too much. That FUD can't be that true. But if you don't have the stuff that's countering that negativity, right? If you have it there, people are gonna be like, well, it can't be this. It's a 50-50. I need to do some research, right? I need to dig into this. But if you just have negativity there, guess what? The people are gonna see in comments. They're like, this. I might need to stay away from this. This looks terrible, right? I don't want to touch this. I want to touch this with somebody else's money, right? Like that's what we have. That's how we have to think as a community. We have to get out there and we have to push and fight just as much as these fudders are fighting. And they're fighting because they're just haters. They don't want to see nobody succeed, right? We the ones with the skin in the game. We should be out there.
Yeah, man.
YouTubers, we can't make videos, do lives, and do the spreading of the stuff too. We can't do everything. We need the community help. We already did all the talking part. All you gotta do is hit share. You don't have to record anything. If you're a person that don't want to record yourself, you don't want to do all this, you want to put yourself out here, share us. We're doing the talking for you. Okay, so do that. Everybody needs to do that. Every single person needs to do that. And if you're not doing that and you have skin in the game and in this investment, you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay, you're doing yourself a big disservice. Please share. It don't matter where. Just put us out there because somebody's going to click and let them make the decision if they want to pay attention to the video or not. Just get the link out there. All right, that's pretty much all I got to say about it.
Yeah, I wanted to add on to that. Excuse me.
Well said, Fowler. Well said. Dropping gems, baby. Dropping gems.
Absolutely. So, like, to give you guys the best sort of sense, because I am not really a content shiller. I'm not like that. I just do my TA.
But so you do it well, sir. You do it well.
Yeah. I have predicament. I don't like to take sides and such like that. And I do share things, but I am careful about what I share. So with the Vulcan stuff, I'm kind of at an impasse. But what I can do in my position is kind of like, we're all in the Seifu community and I was the Seifu guy. So what was I doing? I was trying to expose everyone to, because a lot of the people that are in Seifu are just blinders, like horse and blinders, just Seifu, just that. Can't be anything else, just that. I'm like, well, did you look at, Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe this weird, obscure other crypto coin? I tried, going through about 5 or 6 things to kind of give everyone an idea of what's around, but especially to go through the top 10, because then at least you can go and look around, go on Twitter. You're going to meet new people searching for that crypto of what's going on every day. You meet people in the comments of the videos of, any of the TA and such. But I definitely noticed how not narrow-minded, but blinders people were, because everyone kind of dropped off the channel, especially when Seifu was sacrificed. Everyone was just tuning in just for that. And, I did do the market updates in between to kind of give everyone a perspective on what everything else is doing, to not have that mindset of just Seifu. And I think that's what the community needs to start grasping, is just it's not the only thing that exists, whether it be Vulcan or Seifu. you get it yourself out there in other communities, because then you can introduce to someone else what you're in, and they can introduce like what they're in, because then it goes hand in hand, and then that kind of goes down a, you know, like a chain reaction, like telephone almost. And that's why I try to do what I do when I cover random obscure projects, is because I'm just giving them the light of day so that other people can see it, and people from the community can go back and forth with them. You make your own decisions if you get in it, because I'm not, like I said, the type of influencer that's going to go over it and kind of give you the education on it, but it gives you the opportunities to learn new things and then also educate others on things you know. And I think that you, Fowler, definitely hit at the home, that being able to go into other Discords and being able to share things and give knowledge through Twitter, reshare things, like, comment, and subscribe to other people to get that knowledge to other people is definitely a great thing. So I can tell you, I'm definitely a firsthand, and I don't know if I can say noticer, but I've been like, I notice the fact that people are very just dead set on just, I need to focus on this one thing and everyone else can handle it. I don't have to worry about it. They're going to handle the marketing. They're going to handle this, and I don't have to do anything. I just have to wait. Like, no, like if you liked, say, good Sean Clark's content for just the Seifu stuff, then I feel like you're a little bit too shallow. But I like to listen to Sean because he's very knowledgeable on everything. And even though he's not covering Seifu and he's not covering Vulcan, he's covering a lot of things. You want to understand his perspective on things. So I think people that like the more broad perspective on just crypto in general, instead of being so dead set in just one thing, is just, I think that's the problem.
And that's
but
also
you said it so much better.
Yeah, and also though the
Well
crypto as a whole is a segue into Vulcan. So I mean, obviously we all want crypto to be mass adoption, because then everything that we're invested in, because most people are invested in more than just Vulcan here. I mean, I know Cryptonian always talks about Bitcoin, and I know you're definitely invested in other things, Con, and cover other things. So I think crypto as a whole, we all want crypto to get that mass adoption. And when that happens, obviously, you know, a rising tide lifts all ships, and that's gonna happen. So, but yeah, I think we all do have to have that onus. We do have to have that personal responsibility. I mean, shit, I started a damn Twitter, and I hate Twitter. Like, I started a damn Twitter and I started following people, and they started following me back, like people that have 50, 60,000 followers. So when I tweet out a video from one of my fellow YouTubers, you know, it gets you know, people that have 50,000 plus 100,000 followers are seeing this stuff. So, you know, just any little thing that everyone can do. You figure how many people are in the Vulcan Discord, how many people are invested in Vulcan? Thousands. You get us just bombarding social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, we just start invading social media with Vulcan. People are going to take notice. People are going to go, what the hell is this Vulcan thing that everybody is just constantly posting and throwing out? You know, now, obviously it's a numbers game at that point. Not everybody's going to throw money at it, but at least they'll start talking about it. There'll be some buzz around it. And the people that do invest in crypto are going to say, oh shit, this is hitting a central exchange. I'm going to grab some of that. Or, oh, this project's being launched. Wow, I didn't even know about this thing. So yeah, if everybody took some personal responsibility and did just those little things, you know, you can always stop by the vulcanmerchstore.com and grab yourself a bandana, or, you know, I got some shit behind me, you know, a tank top, whatever, man. I wore the tank top out the other day, and one of my neighbors stopped me. I was grabbing the mail. One of my neighbors, I started talking to them. They were out walking their dog, and they're like, what the hell is that Vulcan stuff? And I started telling them about crypto. And I mean, just something that simple, that you know, that one interaction. They might go home and, you know, be taking a dump and just get on their phone and start, you know, who knows? I mean, just every little thing that you can do. You know what I mean?
I wear my hat every day. I have been probably asked about 4 or 5 times by Taco Bell workers. I've been asked. I've been asked by random people in the store. I've been asked by random people in some bakery shops. Even I go to like a little place down the street. For me, it's like a M&M, like little tiny deli mart. And the guy's like, you know, you come in here all the time for the past 4 years, and you've been wearing crypto hats. And he goes, I'm in crypto. I do Solana. And I was like, oh, like, oh, so do you like how Solana's always down? He
Right,
goes, no.
right.
And I'm like,
That's funny.
and I was
Hell,
like,
yeah.
well, did you ever hear about this? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, here's the thing I'm in. He goes, oh, he saw the Seifu hat, and I was like, yeah, because he's like, I see you wearing the one with the V on it and the one with the Seifu on it. He goes, what are those? I'm like, well, they're DeFi, and I'm like, they're both rebasing things. Seifu was like the precursor for Vulcan, and he was just like, oh snap, that's pretty cool. And I told him about it, and then I think he's a little bit older than me. I think in his like mid 30s. And he's like, oh, well, I'm going to go home and I'm going to listen to that. And then he followed me on Twitter. He followed me on Instagram. And he followed me on YouTube.
Man.
And now
Those
he's
little
going to
things.
follow me and see
Yeah.
what I'm doing with the market. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's pretty cool. Something little small like that I
And
would
he's
have never
gonna
imagined.
and he's gonna look at other people that are following you and other people that you're interacting with.
Exactly.
And to Fowler's point, we're dropping this, a month ahead of time. And then when the Vulcan team throws that money at that SEO, at that advertising, it's already going to be out there, and it's just going to give it some validity. Like Fowler was saying,
the seeds have been
the
planted.
seeds planted. Yes, exactly.
Well, I think
then
I think
the money's
seed that
the
I
water.
planted-
Correct.
I said, I think the seed that I planted in his head, I was like, you wish you were there for when Bitcoin went,
I was
like,
about to
when it
say
was the
that, brother. I
beginning.
was about to say
How about
Yep.
Ethereum? How about this? I was like,
Yep.
because I'm in person, I'm not, on the internet talking and stuff like that. It's a person I see every day, but never actually spoke to. I'm like, well, if you're kind of involved in Twitter and in crypto, and I'm like, you have a little bit of risk capital, and you just want to see what happens with it and actually try. I was like, you could try with a rebasing layer 1 blockchain if you would want to. And he's like, dude, that sounds sick. and then I'm gonna probably talk to him tomorrow when I get out of work, because I stopped by there after work. So
yeah, you should actually just help him set up a wallet, buy some
There you
Ethereum, and do a sacrifice, and then there you go, man. The circle is complete.
So
Just
now
kidding, man.
that you were just talking about the rebasing, and I gotta bring it back a little bit to something Sean Clark was saying, and I love Sean to death. He's one of my good friends. I talk to him all the time. But he was saying when he was going on in his rant, when we were trying to find out what his thoughts were, since he's been a little absent from the space, he said he doesn't see anything that's revolutionary with what's coming in Vulcan. I have to disagree, because a rebasing blockchain is revolutionary in itself. You're getting 44% just for holding it in your wallet, and it's built into the code.
And
No
you're not
one-
locking it down.
No one can turn it off, and you're not staking it. You're not putting it in a farming pool that can go to shit. It is something
permanent loss.
revolutionary and permanent loss. Yes. So it is something revolutionary. And I think maybe he missed that, or maybe doesn't want to see it, or whatever it may be. So Sean, I love you, but I do see something revolutionary there in Vulcan. And I think it's going to be something special. And I got to agree with Brian when he said earlier that it's going to be duplicated. I do believe this is going to be duplicated over and over again. Once it drops, once people see it working, once people see projects
you're gonna have
being
the
built
small
on
projects that are gonna
Correct.
be doing that, trying to do it.
Yep.
Hey,
This
just needs
isn't
more
a
volume,
token.
right?
This isn't a token. That stuff can't be changed. Once mainnet comes out, yet another reason why we want them to get it right. You can't change the shit once it's out there on a blockchain. Token, you can rewrite the contract. Blockchain, you're done. You might as well pack it up if you get it wrong.
Yeah.
So
No, it's over.
Yeah, because even then, if you were to theoretically be able to change anything on it, then you start getting decentralized thoughts, and then people would be like, how decentralized was it if you could actually go back in and change it? So
Right
that's
on.
also something.
See,
Oh, yeah.
something just like this right here. 1.1 million followers. Throw some Vulcan gear on. There you go.
Look, to go back to this community thing and everybody just doing a part, right? I wasn't gonna say this until like closer to the launch, but I had, and this is when you put skin in the game, right? This is all our investments, right? Like nobody should have to pay us anything really to make our bags grow. It'd be great, right? Like it's great when you get super chats and stuff, but I don't need it to make me go,
Right.
Like
110.
So for right now, like I had planned, whenever that launched, so I could have this thing I was doing, which was basically making Vulcan blockchain business cards, right? And I did this with another project, but I was going to do it with this one because I know I'm here long term, right? So I'm a person that crosses a lot of people who are more like stock traders, but they always ask about crypto, right? You know, those crypto curious, I call them. Yep. I call them crypto curious, right?
I've heard people making money in that space, but I don't
I don't know about it.
Those guys. So I went and designed a card, but it's not like your traditional business card. Oh, you got your name on there. You know, I got Fowler on there and stuff. Cool. And it's got the Vulcan blockchain on the black backdrop, and you know, the cool logo. Got the corporate. You know,
we know how you do, brother. We know how you do.
Yeah.
But you're probably like, man. So what could a Vulcan blockchain business card do? Well, when you flip it over, there's a scan QR code.
Yep.
And it has it's like Linktree. You know, you've seen Linktree. It's got, you know, I got the Vulcan blockchain on there as a clickable. I got my social stuff, you know, all my stuff is on there. And that's my way of contributing to the blockchain. I'm helping everybody. Right. So,
and we appreciate that. Thanks, man.
You know, but anybody can do that. All right. Like, yeah, you got to spend a little money because I'm going to get a box of business cards, but guess what? I'm passing these things out, and all they have to do is when they're ready to, you know, not be crypto curious anymore and actually put the toe into the pool, they can easily be like, you know, I got some, I'm in here. What do I do now? Hey, well, you remember that business card I gave you? Flip it over, scan it. All right, go into the blockchain. You know, go into the blockchain's website, check out the Medium articles, read up, research. A lot of information's in there. Then you can go on that link tree, click my YouTube videos, watch all my stuff, you know, and just try to follow along. You know, if you got questions, my information is where you can contact me on Discord. All these things, you know, people can do. You don't have to be a YouTube personality to do this. You can do it yourself. You have a social, right? Everybody has some type of social page. You know, you can make your own, whoever you are, Vulcan investor. You could do the same thing, and that's just one thing, right? Some people know people that are, again, TikTok stars and have crazy amounts of followers. Yeah, maybe you should think about like trying to, hey, nudge, can you give us a shout out? And that shout out can change. You don't know how many like crypto followers that one person is following. No matter what they do on TikTok, there could be.
If they got 1 million followers, even if 1 to 5%.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people.
5% of them could be in crypto, and they have no clue about Vulcan blockchain, and now they know. They're like, "Whoa, wouldn't have known this." It's those little things. It's those little things.
Yeah, man. Well said, Fowler. Yeah, well said.
I'll definitely have a little my own outlet within the next month to start sharing that kind of stuff. As you guys know, I don't know if Fowler knows, but that'll be. I'm working on my own sort of crypto website. I've been making a lot of headway on that. It's a lot of work. But I'll be able to share.
You can plug it. Go ahead, brother. You can plug it. Get people ready to go. Go ahead.
I think one of you guys would have to share it as a link, but obviously, guys, it's just a maintenance screen at the moment. But I plan on it's going to be like a Cointelegraph, but I'm not going to be like Cryptonian. I'm not going to be Bitcoin biased. I'm not going to be Ethereum biased. Or anything like that. I'm going to share everything. Everything's going to be categorized, you know, DeFi versus centralized exchanges versus, you know, any DEX news. Like, you guys will see it. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to have everything on there. And at least there'll be an outlet for people to see it in a different light that way as well. But I definitely agree. And also, it'll be an interesting thing if you can get people to share it that aren't, like, paid like that. Either, because you know you don't want to see a thing like SafeMoon where they just totally just paid a whole bunch of people to promote the hell out of it. Everyone made excuse the word, shit ton of money, and then now of them are facing lawsuits on it. There's a difference between sharing something because you heard about it versus I'm going to.
Did we lose him?
Oh, did we lose you?
Gotcha. Well, two things real quick while we're waiting for him to jump back in is, number one, Chris Markey is a badass. He's on an oil rig in the Norwegian Sea listening from his cell phone. So that's pretty badass. Number one. And number two,
him holding it up.
Yeah, man, that's pretty badass. And then,
thanks, man.
I guess Sean decided to continue listening. Thank you for that, Sean. I appreciate you, brother. And yeah, that is right. I do remember you saying that now that you bring that up, and appreciate you chiming back in. I guess you're right. It hasn't launched yet, so not quite revolutionary yet. So yeah,
NR. Yeah, NR.
Yeah, sorry, Sean. You know, I wasn't trying to put you down, brother, or anything like that. You know, I love you.
No. Yeah.
Just trying to bring it back to positive for the people. You know how it is.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you continuing to listen in and appreciate you participating, man, as always. But yeah, Chris Markey's a badass, dude.
Hell yeah.
That oil rig shit, man. That's a rough way to go. That's a rough way.
I would say 80%, maybe not even 80, maybe 75%. Okay, 80% of my client base is oil and gas companies, because I am in the energy corridor here in Texas and in North Houston.
Right on.
So man, I appreciate. I did reply to you, Chris, and if you're listening, I'm just gonna read what I messaged you was, man, and I appreciate you tuning in, because the O&G life, the oil and gas life, is the road less traveled. If you don't know what that's about, man, that's some real man shit right there.
Yep.
Real man shit, man. So. Man, so stay safe, man. I know I have a lot of really dear friends on rigs right now, and their time away from their families. Yeah, they make great money, but
it's not easy work, man. That's
not
easy work.
Nah, man.
Yeah, that's probably one of the toughest.
Hell yeah, dangerous, and you know, they're away from their families most of the time. You know, most of the time, and so there's a sacrifice for that. So, hats off to you, bro, and thanks for tuning in, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Let's see, who did I hear talking like the most valuable resource is your time? I forget if it was, I don't know.
That's usually one I drop, brother.
Yeah.
Most valuable resource is your time.
Yeah.
Thanks for
dude. My days just blend together, as you know.
Yeah.
I do the 3 a.m. stuff.
That's
like,
one of my things, man.
I listen to your videos. I listen to Cryptonians with Fowlers. Everyone is kind of like this AMA or like live. It just kind of just infinitely loops and every day for me. Yeah. So it's just like, okay, who said that? Oh yeah, wait, no, maybe it's crypto. It's NR. Nope, there's
just so many fantastic things being put out by all the YouTubers that they all just blend together. I understand.
Yeah. The way I see time is
then I don't know.
He's got a calculator for that. I give him 3 months. We'll have an app on the App Store called Protonomics calculator.
There you go.
But I love you, Prado. No, but when it comes to back to that statement or the question you asked, my take on time is, I like to call it, it was taught to me one way, it was put to me one way. It's called life energy. So we all spend our life energy. What does that mean exactly? We're all given so much amount of time. You know, that's one thing that we can't get back as time. So don't waste it, right? Everybody, you hear that all the time. So if I'm gonna put my life energy, because that's what it takes. It takes energy from my life. Like right now, I'm spending time. We're at an hour and 37 minutes into this live. This is an hour and 37 minutes, and none of these guys here on this live and you listening are going to ever get back. So we appreciate you guys listening, but for me to put this time into this, I'm literally spending my life energy, because I don't have an unlimited supply. I can be gone tomorrow. So I want to make sure I use it in a way. If I'm going to spend my life energy, I want to get something back, right? Spending my money, I better be getting something for it. So when I spend my life energy, the way it was put to me and the way I was taught is I better be getting some sort of ROI. So for me, for those of you that listen and then listen, that go back and listen to this, I am getting something back. You guys are letting me opine all damn day, or, and you listen to me. That to me is letting me know that my life experiences have not been in vain. I hope that my horrible mistakes, and I have thousands of them that I'll share with you, I hope that I can help those out there not make the same. So so for me, it's life energy. Careful how you spend it, because there ain't no refunds. But I hope that's my take on it, Con.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I mean, I think that's why I don't know if I know NR remembers. You weren't around at the time yet when I was getting a lot of the comments that were saying that my TA was BS on Seifu. That
you can't do TA on a rebasing
I can't
token.
do it.
Yeah,
I'm a fake. I get paid by Brian, thousands of dollars to do it.
Yeah.
And in my thought process, I hate to say waste, but in their eyes, I guess. But to me, it's just like, if I were to waste that time every day, taking away from my fiance, now future wife, of doing all of this for nothing. It kind of hurt, and that's why like when the on-chain stuff happened, I got really upset because I was just like, I come on here like you're saying, and I expect to get like an ROI of something, and it was just getting people's, knowing that like the 12 channel members I have come in every day to specifically listen to my opinion. I have that V Seifu that comes on every day, and that means a lot. But then to hear that, that it's a waste of my time and I'm fake and stuff like that, that really hurt, because I'm like, I spend probably close to 100 to 120 hours a week on top of my regular job of 45, 50 hours on top of anything else I do, and I have to make time for it. And as we both know, we don't get that back. And to get that kind of sentiment back, it's something that I had to kind of come to terms with.
Yeah,
and that, and that's when I hear him say that, I'm really happy that you say that, like that, Cryptonian. It's really true, and that's why I started. Now I go to bed earlier. Like I'm gonna have to get off here in like 10-15 minutes to kind of tailor and be able to do the same content I do, give it to the people that that I adore and love and stuff like that. Like I love the community. You guys are awesome. So I'm going to be doing it for you regardless of the views that I get, because I am helping out the sort of few that really want it. But I can't put it any better than how Cryptonian said it. I think that is just bar none.
Hey, confirm.
Hey, it's my logo.
Yeah, guys, this is what Confirm was trying to share here. He was anything crypto, guys. It'll be anything crypto.news. Is that correct, Confirm?
Yes, sir. It'll be out by the end of next month.
Awesome, and I'm absolutely going to be all over this. So you guys definitely tune in. He has a lot of insight. I know he doesn't say much. And when he does, he doesn't never stop. So we have to kind of mute him. I'm just joking. No, but he definitely has a lot. I mean, you got to understand, Confirm here, he spends a lot of time in the charts, and that's just things that we don't have time to do. So we really appreciate every effort that he makes. He's not doing this for himself, guys. He's doing this because he wants to help people, and that's why we're all up here, right? So once this site is launched, I really encourage everybody to go check this out, because you might learn something, and in fact, you might be able to contribute in some way and spread the news. Because at the end of the day,
contributing, if everyone can, send him, coffee money or beer money, because, like I says, he's one of the most honest, genuine people out there, in my opinion, and he works himself to death. I want to see him succeed and do what his passion is, doing this job full time. So if you get any value out of reading his blog or his YouTube videos, if it helps you make decisions, financial decisions, hit him up with a super chat or something like that. He's one of our gems in our community.
I appreciate that, Barry.
And that sounds like a bromance crush right there. Thanks, Barry. Appreciate that, brother.
Well, we are going to Vegas together, so
see, good. Like, I'm excited for that. I can't wait to be able to give news just all the time, and I have Hank helping me with that. If you guys know Hank from the Seifu blog,
he was doing the Seifu blog, yeah.
So he's helping me a lot on that. I'm gonna have to find some people to help me write blogs and some journalists, because it's not going to be just a blog. It's a news website. It will have a blog portion, but I want it to be news. I want it to be real, credible things. I don't want it to be just some sort of news opinion spot of Binance. I don't want that. I want it to be something you will go to get your news from. And to lead into that, I was told by Sean that, if once this is running, he said that he'd be using this in his videos and helping to kind of give everyone an idea on how the crypto market is day to day when he does his videos. And I was like, that sounded freaking cool. I was like, really? I can be like that BSC News Cointelegraph.
So Sean's a man of his word too. So
that's
that's awesome.
It's a feat. And I told my fiance that. I'm like, it's gonna be a lot of work. I'm like, you thought I was working a lot before. I'm gonna be working even more.
and you said something that I just want to add, Con. You said your fiance, brother. I'm sorry, man. She's your wife in practice, bro. That's your wife right now, dude.
True.
So there ain't no fiance. Nothing changes. So what you see now is what you're gonna get. And so take care of her, brother, because she'll take care of you, man.
I've been appreciative through all this.
Yeah, man.
I'm appreciative of her this letting me be able to do this stuff, because it takes that time I can be with her.
Of course, yeah. And she is, trust me, she's taking note. I promise you that.
110%. And remember, behind every good man, there's an even better woman, brother.
Hell
No
yeah,
doubt.
1000%. Yeah.
Well, you guys got the wisdom. I'm a lot younger than you. Remember that?
No, we just made a lot of mistakes, bro. We're just trying to.
Yes.
We're trying to teach
You
you
named
guys.
the mistake. I've made it. Let's put it.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
way.
Yeah, I actually got a
At
t-shirt.
least you
on
learned
it.
from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the key. You got to learn
That's the
from
key.
it, right?
Yeah, that's the,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
the
key.
key.
Yeah,
Or what's it, insanity afterwards? You keep doing
Yep.
the same thing, expecting a different result.
correct.
Yep.
I probably got a little insanity too, but you know. that's what
Yeah,
it
some of
is.
them
I
problems.
thought that was
will
the
turn you
definition of
insane.
autonomics. I mess with him so much.
Greek made a shirt and put it in the store. It says
Oh, I saw it. I
Protonomics
love it. I want it.
1000X.
Protonomics.
1000X.
Yeah.
You know, I like what Barry put out there, man. And you put that. I think I started here. No, I didn't. But it was the cryptosexual, man. You know, I got that amosexual shirt. I got a bunch of. I actually got quite a few of those. And I always get a lot of heads turned when they see that. Like, what the hell does that mean? And then they read it. They mean, oh, this
You
guy
wanna
likes
see?
ammo. Yeah, you want to see? You know, but I guarantee you, I will be making a few cryptosexual.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Hell yeah! So for Vulcan, this is going to be a request for the Vulcan merch store N.R. and Greek. I need a amosexual Vulcan shirt, please.
Like, I would like your 30-06.
It's going to
We'll
be
make it
300
happen,
black.
brother.
It's going to
Now,
be
if you have a
300 blackout.
specific kind of design that you specifically want, shoot it to me and I can upload it on whatever piece of whatever garment you want. If you
I gotta
want
get
me
the
to
right image for the Greek, some of the
the
Greek
Greek
stuff.
yogurt, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a picture of like this Greek statue, like a Greek god, but it's like his head to his waist, and so where the waist would end would be like the top of the guy, and
Like
so
the
it says,
statue of David.
well, yeah, it says Greek yogurt on top, and then the bottom it says blow me.
You're the only guy I know that can bring in. Never mind.
Greek gods, yogurt,
Greek
and,
gods,
and
yeah.
sex.
And blow me, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
You-
Barry's
you
just
have a
so
way,
like
man.
you're just so like you're like this most serious mofo around. Then all of a
Right.
sudden just
Yeah,
turn
dude.
around. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna
Bro, your
This Greek
brain
yogurt
is your brain makes my eyes bleed because you're so freaking intelligent, and then but yet you're so dirty. It's so weird, man.
I am a genius, but I'm also an inner 14-year-old. So
Right.
Wait, do you think someone went up to him one day, go like, Barry, we're gonna make you the smartest mother effer alive, but everything you're gonna say is dirty as shit.
Dude, I want to see that Netflix movie, man. That's gonna be funny as hell. Yeah. It's like,
that's the deal I made with with the devil right there. You hit me, you got me.
that's awesome, man. It's funny.
So Barry, to switch gears a little bit, I know you guys were supposed to have a Seifu live tonight. Greek wasn't feeling well. You guys pushed it off to next week. Is there anything you can give us to kind of foreshadow that live next week? Any kind of gems you can drop or any info you can share with the community?
Okay, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah,
so remember, like when I was being vague and we're like, thanks for the boring vagueness.
Yep.
It's I'm not being vague for the sake of being vagueness. Is that you don't want to put things out there that haven't been developed or confirmed or things like that,
Right.
because it fucks up the process.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so it's just that I'm trying to preserve the maximum integrity and power that the that the 9 can have. So, but something that is going to happen is that it's only now that the vote ending and all those things. So really, our power is kind of like just starting. We just had some like warm up game meetings and things like that, and now we're getting into the nitty gritty where we're having to do some work. And so it's like I've got homework to do, right? I've got to research this project and this, and it puts some on our plate, but that's what we signed up for, right? So I'm doing my due diligence about exploring these different things that we want to do and things like that. But I'm excited to see us put forward to the community to vote on different things, because ultimately, like I said before, it's like it's about the Seifu community that's loyal and strong, and they deserve the best. And so I would love to see I look forward to seeing, some of the things we're going to vote on and seeing what you guys' responses are, and then making that happen, because it's not like, the council is 9 people, ruling, the thing or whatever. It's we're doing the back work, and then, putting it to the community, and then, what the community likes, then we're putting into action. So I don't consider myself, some kind of like, Supreme Court judge or things like that. I consider myself a member of the community who's passionate about the community and just wants to see the community succeed, and I'm a part of that. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how everyone responds to some of the things we're going to put forward to get voted on.
Hey, Barry, we couldn't hear anything that you said, bro. Was your mic muted? I'm just joking, man. That was well said, brother.
Man, I was like, yo, wait a minute.
I'm just kidding, man. No, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something that's important too is that, some of the things that are just going to be some of the things that we can do now, some of the things that are actionable now, and then there's other things that are going to be in work, constantly in the works. And something that I've talked about before is I'm trying to get work with the council to see if they're cool with I was hoping to see 12 people on the think tank, right? Getting our best and brightest and most knowledgeable people to help shoulder some of the weight of figuring these things out, whose expertise is in this stuff. It's like, hey, you're a numbers guy, can you help us figure this stuff out, right? And doing strategies and things like that. So we're trying to figure out, we're debating, what the roles and responsibilities of the potential of the think tank would be, and then get the community to vote on it. But like how I see it is kind of like that. Okay, so you got the council, then maybe have the think tank, and then you've got the community. And so we're all working in conjunction like 3 branches of government for checks and balances to make sure that we can go in the best possible direction and have the best possible outcome. But we have some amazing people in our community. What's that Nathan guy? What's his name?
Nathan B.
Nathan
B. Yeah.
The guy who's helping people with the notes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nathan B. Yep.
Yeah, it's like he's awesome, right?
Oh, he's such a good guy, man.
Yeah, why wouldn't we want him to be, part of the team that's helping to develop some of the ideas that the community are coming up with, right? Or just to look at the projections, and sometimes it's not about having a good idea, but it's about when to enact it, pretty much. And because we can't run 5 things at a time, we got to focus on getting one thing done and one thing done and one thing done and being productive. And people see things happening, they get more excited, they're more involved. I want to see the morale of the community to be just increased 400%. I want to see a 4x return on the morale of our community, because they're happy to see things happening, they're happy to see their investments being more valuable, and they see that their voices are being heard.
Hey, Barry.
Well said, man. Well said.
What? I have a quick question for you. What did you mean by pineapple pizza yesterday?
Oh, I just like starting shit rumors about people, and so I said that you eat pineapple in your pizza because I think that's like one of the worst things you can do. It's kind of like right under murder, slavery.
Jesus. No. Is it because I'm being so critical of Seifu at the moment?
No, I didn't say that at all. I love your impartiality. That's why I love you. Is because you can be impartial. Who wants yes men out there? I don't want yes men on the council. I don't want yes men in our Discord. I think maxis are good for some things but make other things worse, right? So if we can't use our intelligence, our combined this Borg intelligence of the community. It's like the community is a deep mind project, right? And they can figure things out, together. If we use our freedom of speech on the freedom of the internet, we can accomplish great things together. Like I said, you're part of the gem of our community because you're spitting the truth and facts and showing us, applying this science to our charts, right? And you're doing that out of just because that's your nerd thing. That's your ikigai. I put that out there. Listen to the audiobook Ikigai on YouTube. It's for free. It's like
that's a good one, Barry.
It's like 3.5 hours, and just on your commutes, just listen to it, right? Everyone's got the things that they love that they're really good at, and we're just trying to place people where they're good at. In the council, I want to see in the think tank, and we got people who are really good at say all the the social media stuff, and it's like everybody has something to offer, or it's just, you know, hey, I've just got some money and I'm going to put it here, and you guys do your thing. I'm just going to sit back and see the rewards, right?
Sure.
So I want to I just want to see us all succeed. It's just that's my passion. Like I said, no, I've had an amazing life. You know, I could have died a long time ago, been a very happy person. I don't need the money. I don't know all these things, but crypto is a very interesting thing for me because it tickles a thing in my brain, which, you know, makes you want to get involved in it and create things. I've got a couple things, you know, that I'm personally working on, and that I'm excited to get out there for everyone to be a part of. Right. So everyone, you know, find your passions, go after your passions, and, you know, look, you know, just looking at giving, Confirm It as an example. He works so much, but he still loves doing this thing, and he's doing it because he loves it. Right. That's a cool guy you want to have around. What's your
It's the
passion?
only reason I do it.
Yeah. What's your passion? And, you know, how can you help out the community with that passion? What are your talents? What are your abilities? And just have fun, because, like, you know, fuck it, you know, it's like about not being overinvested, but it's like, if you got nothing from this and lost everything, did you at least have fun? Did you enjoy yourself? It's like, why did people see me be such a fucking jackass in Discord? Because I'm having fun, right? If I lost everything in Sifu, I can look back and be like, man, I had such a fun time in the Discord because I was just being an ass and being myself and not censoring myself. But obviously now it's like I represent the community, so I can't be that person, you know, in Discord. But I had fun.
So was
just
that
on live.
Was
Just
that
on
the
lives.
first thing that the first thing that the 9 addressed was that you can't, you know, be Barry anymore?
I volunteered that. I was like, you know, hey, because some of the things I come off can be chauvinistic or, you know, hypersexual or whatever. It's like some people found that offensive, or they're offended for women, right? So they're offended or might be indirectly offended. And so it's like, okay, well, I can't do that anymore, right? So it's a bummer because, you know, I have people that, you know, I enjoy, you know, cutting it up with, but I just, you know, can't do that because I'm actually represent something, and so what if I do something bad? It can damage the image and the profitability or whatever of the protocol that I'm associated with.
Sure. Well, I think that speaks volumes of your character, realizing that, knowing it, and then implementing it. So
So
Yeah,
I
hats
hadn't
off to you,
realized
brother.
that he weighed pineapple pizza on that scale, though. I'm kind of still shocked by that, honestly.
Yeah. Well, actually, I like pineapple on my pizza, some of my pizza. So if that's an issue with you guys, let's talk.
I think it's like gingers not having any souls. I think maybe, you know, pineapple on pizza people and gingers don't have any souls. But
Gingers don't have any what?
Yeah,
don't have
any
souls.
You ever heard that? Yeah. Come on.
Gingers.
Yeah. Well, like even then,
I
like
have a lot of friends that are gingers, man. I actually call them ginger nuggets. They don't like that, but yeah, I have to tell them.
ask them how do they hide their tails?
I'm afraid to ask them that. I'm afraid to ask anybody anything that you asked me to ask. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's funny how you went out here and you were, I've been asked to kind of tone it down a little bit, and out of respect.
I volunteered to. I wasn't asked to. I was, people constantly ask me, but yeah. I'm like, okay, I realize that I can't fuck around with like this anymore. So
like things just got real. No, you're good, man. At the end of the day, no one would even know who you are if it wasn't for your crazy ass tag, Barry. I'm not even gonna say yeah.
Right.
Now it's just Barry. I mean, when I see Barry, I'm like, something happened,
I think of the B movie when I think of Barry.
Yeah, right. No, but at the end of the day, man, I when I got past the crazy jokes and the statements, obviously you're for some they would consider it unnatural, some of the things that you would say, but it's funny as hell. I mean, you got to have at least if you have a sense of humor. But when you would actually begin to talk about I guess the back end stuff, I guess the insides of cryptocurrencies and just stocks, and at the end of the day, you have a lot of great insight, man. So I'm intrigued by you, man. I mean, I want to know what the hell makes you tick, other than what tickles, other than what tickles your throat, or I mean your brain. I want to know what makes you tick, bro.
Well, I've had a lot of life experience, and like I said, I've had a handful of near-death experiences. I've worked in industries that you see some real crazy shit, and so when you go through certain things, it's like, you know, your perspective on things are forever changed, so by that, it's like, you know, I don't fret the little shit. I don't like, you know, toxic stupidity and things like that. I'm just like, oh no, whatever, I'm out, you know. So it's like, but I enjoy having fun. I enjoy enjoying my life, because that's one of the things that I'm in control of with my attitude. And if I'm not being me, I'm just faking being somebody else, right? So, you know, who I am is, like I said, you know, I have this, you know, these things, you know, like I like inventing, designing things, creating things, and I'm an idea person, and those things really drive me, right? Philosophy, all those things, right? But I'm also a 14-year-old boy. It's like, I'm not gonna pretend that, you know, that I don't have this 14-year-old inner boy person, right? So, but I enjoy stupid humor, but I also love highbrow humor, right? So, but that's,
I remember
you know,
being a 14-year-old boy, and I don't remember thinking a fraction of the things that you've said.
Yeah.
But
okay,
that's
what I'm
just
saying
me.
is that, but it's like I said, it's like, when you've seen what I've seen and experienced what I've experienced, you know, it's
As a 14-year-old boy, go ahead. Yeah, I'm listening.
No, it's like, yeah,
I'm just kidding. Man.
your
Wait, hold
your filter goes to the wayside, and so if
Yeah,
I think
you're
of
right,
something,
right.
whatever, it's like, I'll just let it fly.
But who wants to have
You're
a
good.
customer service that, you know, like kind of voice and personality online? Like, come on, like if you know, you show your true colors. So you want it to be fun, because when you start making it a job, like that's what my point. What, like, when in the beginning I kind of viewed it as a job, and it kind of became taxing. But when I started viewing it as like my extracurricular, it felt better.
Yeah, I will say, anytime you take your hobby or something that you enjoy and you make it a job and you earn money, like for me, working on cars, I can't stand it, man. Like, I hate it. It's something I was always passionate about and I love.
Dude, yes.
And
yes.
just when you take it and you make a living doing something that was your passion, it
It's
definitely
terrible.
fizzles out at some point and you lose that love and luster, man. No doubt.
Then you don't want to do it like that. That was not. I did the same thing. I did it for only about 3 or 4 years, and then I just didn't want to work on my cars anymore. I was like,
Yeah.
screw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, being
Everyone
in
has
IT,
to have,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everyone has to have that whatever it is, that inner string pulling them forward, right? Because you will get burned out if you don't have the right motivation. If it's about money, if it's about this, whatever, that's going to go away. But there's going to there's what's about you, who you are. It's like, you know, and those are things that's pulling you forward. So it's like you will fight through adversity of the things that you're passionate about, right? So for some people, it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, this job sucks, but I love my family, so I'm doing that. My motivation is my family, right? And so people have to find out what their passions and all those things are, and then they have to go after them, or use those passions, those motivations, to help them, you know, get through the shit so they can have what they want.
Yep. It's all about focus, man. It's
Yeah,
all
dude,
about focus.
I can definitely
No doubt.
attest to that, because especially since the sacrifice period, I mean, the engagement that I have had to go through since basically October, it's been hard. You know, can you imagine going from 1,000 to 1,500 views a day to 50 to 20 views? Just the amount of the demotivation to do what you love, because you see that no one really cares for it at the moment. And I had to remember at the end of the day, there are people that still care about it and that like to see my opinion still. And that's what, you know, even at the moment, keeps me doing what I'm doing, because I know it'll be worth it even when the Vulcan comes out. But in the meantime, it's pulling through that and continuing to, you know, push through this in quotations adversity, but just the lack of attention that it brings. But since I don't view it as a job, it's easier to get through it. But if I viewed it as a job and I hated it and I dreaded doing it, it'd be totally different. And I can understand that because I currently do something I don't enjoy. So I couldn't imagine 24/7 doing something I didn't like. But
I agree with you guys. With me, obviously I'm in IT and I love technology. So for me, getting into technology I was so passionate about. But the moment I started making money, getting paid to do to be in IT, I began to like. It became more of a job than it was anything else. Than it was a passion of mine. So, and I think that's anybody can relate to that, right? So I found a new love, and that's cryptocurrency, and that's why for those that are still hanging on with us, and we're about to wrap up, guys, and I really appreciate you guys jumping on board. But I think everybody listening and that will listen to this, we're all passionate about crypto. We all want it to change our lives, and it will. It will. As I said earlier. WAGMI, we all going to make it? No, so I'm sorry. We're not all going to make it. But we all have the opportunity to make it. And the way I like to look at it is opportunities are not mysterious. They're not elusive. They're actually in plain sight. All you have to do is open your mind, have a plan, and the possibilities are endless. And we hope that we can help you guys see the possibilities. Not just in crypto, but in life, because at the end of the day, we're talking about crypto and among other things, but it's all about life, guys. The quality of life, and we hope that we can add value to that. At the end of the day, that's our goal. That's our plan. That's what gives me. That's my passion, is to add value to those around me. And if I'm not adding value, I'm wasting your time. And remember what I said, guys. If I'm spending my life energy, which I cannot ever get back, I hope it's not in vain. So thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it.
Dude, it's I have to add this. This is just a beautiful kind of thing to see you guys just talk about, because there are a lot of people out there, and I've been watching for 2 years of crypto around the sphere, and it's not a lot. I mean, I've been invested for a little longer, since 2019. But what I do have to say is you guys are just real, and that's a really big difference. You guys are keeping it real. I don't know, peace sign right there, keeping it real. I think of Scooby-Doo when I think of that. But anyways, because just the rest of the influencer sphere is just so toxic, in my opinion. Just like, we got to shill the next best thing. We got to make our next quick buck. I don't like throwing names out there, but we know a certain controversial other person that was kind of hating on it and then hopped on the bandwagon, hates on it again. One of the projects that we like, and even like, I have to even like this one, like everyone knows Drip, and just the community saying that, the influencers saying, there's too many tokens in circulation, so now everyone has to buy a certain amount and they have to burn their amount themselves every day. I'm like, what the hell kind of shit? What do you mean? That's not how that shit works. What do you mean I have to buy and I have to do something against it? And I'm like, and then I realized, I'm like, those people are here for just their money, and I hate the fact that they're still in here just pushing shit down people's throats every day. And I think that's why I have the utter and utmost amount of respect for you all in this room, is because you're on here and you keep shit real. And that's the difference. That's why I associate with you guys. That's why I allow myself to be a part of these lives. It'd be different if you guys were out here saying that everything's going to be this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Nothing bad will happen, all that shit. I wouldn't be here, because I can't associate myself with that, especially with what I'm going to be doing with anything crypto. I can't.
Appreciate that, man.
You see the way you guys talk, it's just it's inspiring to be able to hear that same that notion, and just the wisdom of having been through everything in crypto, and a lot of it, and being able to tell everyone your experiences and kind of guide them through some of the hardships that they're gonna either face, or telling them that have a plan, because holding to the end isn't usually the best idea. But I wanted to say that because you were saying something very nice about what you've been through, and just I just have to say that it's a very good. I always noticed myself every Monday morning when I'm driving into work, and then when I'm running my first parts, because I'm a machinist, I'm listening over Cryptonian's words, and I listen to N.R. Even though his video may be 2 or 3 weeks old, sometimes listening to what he has to say to remind myself of certain things.
You trying to tell me I need to put out more content?
Yeah, well, I'm not. I that wasn't my purpose. But I'm saying this, listening to your words.
Yeah.
And
but yeah,
even Sean's, just you guys all have really good information. The Greeks, I take in as he makes the video. Prados, I do when he's on. But Jesus, sometimes getting 2 lives, an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, Prado, is so much time on my day. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a lot, but yeah, I mean, you know where those guys' hearts are, and
absolutely. No, I don't mind it. I don't mind it because sometimes my day feels empty without it.
I agree. I agree.
If he's not popping out a video, I'm thinking,
what's going on? What's going on?
I'm checking articles, but what I've learned is, and thanks, Con, I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
No doubt.
It means so much to hear that. And the thing is, your gifts will make room for you. Whatever it may be. We all have gifts. Every single person listening to this has gifts, and we all. If you never heard that, you're hearing it now. The universe will get the hell out of your way once you recognize your gifts and your potential. You just have to know that it is. So, kind of back to what you were saying, Con, is there's always in crypto we've all experienced disappointment. This was supposed to take us to the moon and change my life and pay off all my bills. And here's a challenge that I wouldn't say a challenge, but here's the way I like to look at it. It's all about character. So your character is tested when in the midst of a letdown or a disappointment. And the question is, when you're let down, and I'm talking about like you're in a project, it let you down. It doesn't launch when you wanted it to. It doesn't. Things have changed. The contract has changed, or whatever it may be. You feel let down. The question is, will you quit? Are you going to stop blaming others, or you're just going to realize that you have to pivot? That's it. Because at the end of the day, it's about personal responsibility. Guys, it's not easy for me to get up every day and and please everybody around me. But this is one thing that I've learned. I can't please everyone, but I sure in hell can love them. So I don't live my life trying to please anybody. I try to love them. I can love, and you guys hear me say it all the time, love all, give hatred to none. So I can't please you, but know this, I do love you. And at the end of the day, I do right by every man, and I will not fear anything that will keep me from doing that. But thanks, Con, man. I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. That lets me know that that somebody's listening to me. And you made a comment earlier. You're like, you got a couple of guys listening to you, or you feel like at least someone's listening to you. Hey, guys, there are 7.8 billion people on this earth. Trust me, someone is looking for you. Someone wants to hear what you have to say. All you have to do is speak. That's it. Someone will listen. I promise you. You will change someone's life. You have more power than you will ever realize, And this isn't supposed to be, hey, everybody's got power. You understand what I'm talking about. Once you unplug from the matrix, guys, and we hope we can help you do that. So
sure. To add to that, Con, I appreciate you saying that as well. And it does seem like, I think Cryptonian may have even said this, that crypto kind of mimics life. And, with the wisdom and the things that we drop, it's because we do have a lot of life experience. I've made so many mistakes and learned from them, man. So it's a lot of those things. And like that keeping it real outlook, it's, I try to keep a positive spin even just on regular life, but I'm a realist at the same time. So, everything's not rainbows and lollipops all the time, just like it's not in crypto. So, yes, WAGME, we'd all love to make it, but unfortunately, those that are walking out of the market with full bags, they're taking it from somebody. That money's coming from somewhere. So there's people leaving with empty bags if people are leaving with full bags. And that's just the way the market works. So yeah, man, I do believe crypto mimics life. And, success is when preparation and hard work intercept. When opportunity presents itself, when that hard work and preparation intersect. So yeah, man, I think crypto mimics life, and just I really, really appreciate you saying that, man. And I'm just blessed to be able to be up here, and that people even want to listen to what the hell I got to say, man. It's
it's humbling, man. It really is.
It is definitely humbling, and I do believe I have some wisdom and some knowledge, but I think all these guys up here do. I think everybody doing this does. I think the people in the chats do. There were people telling some stories over there in the chats as well that I was taking in. And, I try to take and take it all in. I try to take a piece. If I can learn just one thing, it was worth my time. If I can walk away learning just one little thing, one little nugget that I can apply to my own life, or whether it's, you know, being a father or being a businessman or being an entrepreneur in crypto, whatever it may be, if I can take just one little thing that I learned from somebody else and apply it somewhere in my life, it was worth my time. So
that's it, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
That's it.
Just even as a mechanic, I would do the same thing. You know, you don't know everything. That's why they make books. That's why there's the internet for you to look shit up in. So I would take things from all the guys around me, and that's why I became very, very good. And I was a master tech in 2 years from once I jumped in the game. I took things from everyone around me, but made it my own. Took little pieces from everybody that worked for me. And I find myself doing that in life. Like I said, man, I've learned a lot just from being up here and doing this with you fine people, from being in our Telegram group and just, you know, it's just awesome, man. But yeah, if there's one thing I can tell you, it's in life, just keep an open mind, listen to people. And like I said, man, take those little nuggets and implement them in your own life, brother. No doubt.
Yeah, so that's what I tell people in at my videos at the end of them. Even though I'm a TA, I'm like the only TA guy I really know in our kind of sphere. I know a couple people who don't really post it, but what I say is to kind of gather everyone's information. You know, I'm the one guy interpreting TA the way that I do, but everyone has this kind of, people could be around the same lines as me, sure, but there's a lot of different opinions on how to do it because it's not a dead set math. I mean, yeah, you can see the trends, but how you interpret them, that's the different thing. And I guess that's what sets me apart from other people and other people from me. And then also I say to, you know, gather everyone's information on Twitter, gather stuff on CoinMarketCap, gather things in the Discord if you're a part of it. But you don't need to be in a Discord to be a part of a community. I hate to say that, but it's true. You don't. I'm not in anything Bitcoin, XRP, BNB. That shit don't matter. But I'm saying the overall sentiment of whatever the hell you're invested in. But then also what the trends are, because that's like the best way of kind of determining how whatever you're going to be investing in is going to be working like. But
yeah, man. So we're going to bring to the people, we're going to go live one day, you and me. Anybody else is, you know, if you guys want to join, please do. But we're going to go we're going to dumb it down. We're going to have Khan show us how he does his TA and break it on down. TA for dummies. He's going to walk us through step by step how he comes up with the numbers. And personally, brother, I'm excited about that when we find the time to make that happen.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, I've always said, I was telling Barry that I would love to do a little Patreon or even something like that for people who really want to go super in depth with it. But you know, things need to be doing pretty well. So I don't need to work. I don't need to work at my machining thing. So then I can actually spend the time to actually show people how I do stuff.
Brother, your gifts.
I'm not conventional. I'm not conventional like anyone else.
Your gifts will make room for you, brother. I promise you that.
There you go.
Stay passionate.
Will be fun.
stay passionate, and purpose is not far behind, man. I promise you that. Gus Navarro says you guys are putting out good knowledge, and you are all still young. Actually, I'm 45. I'm not very young, but I will tell you this: I may look young, but I've made a lot of old mistakes.
I'm with you, Cryptonian, as I'm 45 as well.
Yeah. and if I can, though, the young people out there, even those that are my age and much older, you know, every day is a reset. I promise you that. Nothing is ever, you know, this it's the, you know, the worst it's going to be. I mean, here's one thing: I've hit rock bottom many times, more times than I can count. What I've learned from hitting rock bottom is it's a place to. You can only look up from there. When I hit rock bottom, I know I can't fall any further, and then I can absolutely go up from there. And I've had to do it a couple of times. So at the end of the day, I really appreciate all my failures, because those have been when I've had letdowns and disappointments. I just realized that my hope was misplaced, my focus was misplaced, and I just had to make corrections. Now I know how to focus. I'm not saying I got all the answers, but I got a couple of answers that have helped me, and hopefully they can help you guys, especially in this crypto space.
And I'll add to that a little bit, Cryptonian, and I'll say that the times of my life when I've changed the most, when I've learned the most about myself, were during those hard times, during those times that knocked me down, that knocked me back a peg, and those were the times when I learned the most about myself. And like I said, man,
Yeah.
the times when I grew the most. So if it wasn't for those hardships, I wouldn't be the man that I am today. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So yeah, no doubt. So if anybody out there is going through a tough time, or you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, just know that it is there.
Oh, yeah.
And when you come out on the other side, you're going to be that much better. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. And it's all about what you put in your head. It's all about mindset. I'm going to plug his book right now, but NR is coming out with a book here soon. It's all about mindset. And guys, it's all about mindset. Back to WAGMI, guys, and I'll end it with this because I know we're well over the 2-hour mark. But look, you guys know all I'm about positive thinking. I talk about I say positive things, and I throw out corny jokes and corny quotes and all that. But I believe all that. But there's a problem with being positive, like WAGMI. We're all going to make it. So the problem with that is in that one statement alone, and that's just it. It's a statement on its own. So when it stands by itself, it's powerless. It's just a thought. It's not real. It's almost like a wish, and a wish without a plan is just a wish, right? So I like to think of it as, and I said this earlier, is we're not all going to make it. I like to think of it as we all have the opportunity to make it, and that comes with action. So if you take a positive thought and you add action to it, the possibilities are endless. So guys, it's not we're all going to make it. It's we all have the opportunity. And we talked about some things tonight on how Vulcan, for instance, can make it. Taking action. Fowler makes some damn good points tonight, about taking action, things that we can do as a community to, if not ensure the success, give it that go down in flames trying to make it happen. At least we can't say, I want to be able to say, if Vulcan doesn't make it, at least I want to be able to say I gave it my best personally. The team did, NR did, Fowler did, Barry did, Confirmant, Pride, everybody. We all did our best. If it didn't make it, oh well, I'll go on to the next one.
It's not on us.
That's right.
It's not on us.
That's right. They can't say it's on us. There it is. And at the end of the day, what if it fails, or maybe it doesn't fail? Maybe it's not as successful as we want it to be, or hope to, or expect it to be, right? At least when we as a community go to the next project, we're going to take life lessons with us so we don't make the same mistakes. In fact, we'll get better. We'll get stronger. And we're almost ensuring our success because we're cutting away the fat. And when we move to the next one as a community, we're that much stronger and leaner. And remember, guys, they need us more than we need them. When you remember that, if you understand that, everything changes. Everything. So, all right, guys, you guys want to add anything else? Because, I'll talk forever.
No, I think that's a good place to wrap it up, man. No doubt.
Absolutely.
Fowler, man, you've had absolutely nothing to say for like 30 minutes, bro. Anything you want to add?
Listen, man.
He's over there playing a game.
No, look, my hands are clean. Look, no controller in my hands. Look, no, when you guys are talking, I'm listening, right? Like, I am dead. Like, you guys are, your opinions are on a level where you like, man, take these guys serious because what you're talking about is nothing but 100% truth. And, I just take it all in. So that's why I'm so quiet. But trust me, I'm always ready to throw out but you guys nail it all the time. So I'm like, they don't need me.
Man.
No, we definitely need you, brother.
We need everybody listening, everybody that's going to listen to this. Guys, this isn't about us. This is about all of us.
Yeah, man.
They need us, man, and I think they're realizing that. And I'm talking about not just Vulcan. I'm talking about
the space.
Space.
Yeah.
We have so much power as a community, and we hope that we can teach you that. We can absolutely, as the community, we can absolutely change the space. And everybody, look, cryptocurrency can truly be the next revolution, the next industrial revolution, the largest transfer of wealth ever to hit mankind. Don't get left out, guys, because I'm not. Never again will I make the mistake I made with Bitcoin. And I guess I'll clean it up with this. When we were talking, I think he mentioned a couple of times when he's kind of sharing about crypto with, and even you NR as well, even you Fowler and Barry, you're sharing your 14-year-old thoughts on. I guess for me, the way I present crypto to people, specifically Vulcan, and at the time it was Seifu and SeifuX. The way I would bring it up, because the question is like, well, how do I talk to people? They think it's a scam. All I gotta say is, you know what Bitcoin is? You ever heard of Bitcoin? They're like, well, yeah. I just kind of ask them, what is it worth right now? And they're like, I don't know, 20,000, 60. Sometimes they don't know, so I'll show it to them. They're like, damn. And that, you know what usually comes out of their mouth 9 times out of 10? Damn, I wish I got into that. I'm like, really? Yeah, me too. I missed the boat on that one, but I'm never going to do that again. Let me show you a project that I think that has the same potential. Could, if not be Bitcoin, be the next Bitcoin, but it can be up there with it. And then I talk about Vulcan, SafeUX. It always turns from a 30-second conversation to about 30 minutes, you know? And so that's how I do it, you know? Show them what's worked and where like Bitcoin. I mean, you can't argue with that. You cannot. Well, it's a scam. Really? $60,000, or when I saw 60,000, now it's 23,000.
Been around for 10 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's real
$1 billion
scammy, guys.
market cap.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
scammy. Yeah. No, scam. Right? You know, and you can't argue with facts. You know,
Yeah.
and facts don't care about your feelings. So if they get into that, well, you know, I don't know. It's all. If you see the feelings and emotions coming out,
Yeah.
lay down the facts. Lay down the facts, because facts don't care about your feelings, and that's what I love about facts.
Can I say something nice about Fowler?
Absolutely.
No.
I see Fowler as somebody who's using his strengths and passions, you know, for the community.
110.
Everyone, like I said, everyone's got their thing, and it's like he's really plugging away. He's hitting it hard, and I appreciate you know, him using his time and talents, you know, to promote.
Yeah, man.
And
he's good at what he does.
Making this community better, which he's adding value to the community. So the community is where the real value is, and I want to thank you for adding your value to the community as well.
Yeah,
and
without no community, it ain't me. Without the community, there's no me, right? Like I'm just another person in Discord, right? But I sat there, you know, I wanted to do more, right? But when I tried to do more, guess what? The community stepped behind me. If the community didn't step behind me, if the community wasn't the community that we have, I would probably just sink, just like any other YouTuber that tries to come somewhat have a voice, right? Like not every YouTuber who just starts a channel can have a voice. You can have your own voice, but does it get propelled out there into the ether, into the internet, right? Like, and the community does that for me. So I'm not here without the community, but I also want to make sure that I make sure the community knows that they should be doing more when I know they can do more, right? And sometimes they may not just not know that they need to do a little bit more could make a world of change. So that's why I try to stick with, you know,
that makes sense.
You know,
You're keeping it real. You're being genuine, honest, and I appreciate that. And you know, and everyone, you know, thinks of NR Legend and Cryptonian in those same veins. It's like the exact same thing that's about you. It's like I could say to them as well. So anyways, but also want to touch on something you said, Cryptonian, about the AI. So we're at the precipice now where AI is having a daily impact on everything we do. Okay.
Right.
Whether you know it or not, it's happening, and it's happening in the background.
What specifically are you talking about? What I've said a lot of things on a lot of channels, and a lot of private conversations about AI. Go ahead.
Okay.
Elaborate.
Well, AI is now, like in the last few months, is now becoming ubiquitous. It's
talking about chat GPT.
Yeah.
That's just one aspect of it. That's just one aspect of it. They're using AI now to make cameras better and to be able to focus better. The cameras are learning, right? And so I'm saying that's just like another product. But we have the technology now. I mean, look at you know, Tesla with the robots coming out. You know, you put chat GPT, you know, and I don't know if you've seen his voice changer thing going on, but you know, within a few years, we're going to be dealing with semi-intelligent robots, right? So there's going to be, you know, whatever you think of consciousness is, even scientists have a hard time defining it, but we're going to have, you know, the future is coming faster than we think. And as far as crypto is marrying AI. So whether you're using AI for predictions and all these things, to run projections, all this stuff, right? AI can basically take everything that's ever happened in the internet and apply it to its ability to make decisions and judgments, right? So the future is happening, and the crypto that's actively trying to put AI in their stuff is doing better. So I see any of these cryptos who are genuinely using AI as part of their technology, that's going to be standard. That's going to be the future. So marrying AI with crypto is just another portion of the pie that AI is going to have its finger in. Now there's good and bad in that, whether you think of that we're going to be fighting the robots in the future with but it's a very powerful and useful tool right now, because what took humans so much longer to do, now it's like AI can spit it out like nothing, right? You tell Chat GPT what your homework assignment is on a note, on a book, book report, it can spit it out in a couple minutes. It's just amazing. Our productivity is going to go up, and things are going to become faster and faster, and the AI is going to be creating art and technology for the future.
I think it
with
makes
just minimal
sense.
input.
I think it makes sense, Barry, that AI and crypto are literally marrying each other, because if you think about it, right, AI is going to outthink any human being, right? We just can't
Exactly.
keep up, right? But guess what? The blockchain is a ledger, pretty much. So everything that the AI does, you need the AI to be as honest as you need human beings being honest, right?
Yep.
Like you need it to be ledgerized with not even AI can change what the transaction was, right? Like that's where I think there's some little control in there, and that's a good thing. I think just like humans need that type of control where you have to be honest, just to be honest with the whole thing. Like humans need to be honest, and the AI needs to be honest. It's got to be checks on both sides.
Yes, there's a way of keeping it honest, like you're saying. That's a beautiful aspect of what you're saying. We gotta look at us, controlling where it goes into, instead of it just kind of like leaking out willy-nilly into the ether, just kind of like genetic engineering. That's what's happening right now. It's like you genetically engineer some fish, and then it gets out there and it's breeding with other fish. Now all those fish are not the same as they were. It's like you're playing God, and you don't know what the outcomes are going to be. But you think about in the next few years, how quantum computers are getting much better. We're going to see quantum computers mixed with AI, and sky is the limit. So it's going to be crazy. So you have to, whenever you think of the future and things like that, ask yourself, how is AI and crypto going to be a part of that? And just everything from government agencies, record keeping, medical records. You can keep your medical records on a blockchain, and it's anonymous, so it's like that gets rid of your HIPAA shit, right? Just all kinds of crazy things that you can do with the blockchain, with crypto. And just think about where AI is going to be in the next year, 2, 3, 4 years, and be ahead of the curve. And you can create projects that are going to, the technology may not be there now, but you can set the foundation for it. So when it does catch up and it's going to be there, you're going to be ahead of the game. So I'm thinking about AI when I'm thinking about different projects and different things I'm part of, but it's a powerful tool. So always be thinking about not the technology we have today, but the technology we're going to have in 2 to 3, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, man.
Yep. So I'm trying to figure out what issue you had with my statement, because I hear what you said. You said something.
No, I'm saying
about
that you brought up AI, and so I was just segueing
well,
into
I do
something.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah, I agree with you 100%. There's definitely going to be a some sort of collaboration between the two. In fact, that they will be one and the same. I think ultimately, that's the end. That's the next level. Obviously, that's what we see down the road. As far as AI is concerned, Chat GPT and those types of things, as you guys know, if you don't know this already about me, I'm all about personal responsibility and live and let live and all these things. So as much as I love technology, especially me being in IT for 20 plus years, I have my doubts about it, because at the end of the day, there's a human being that's at the keyboard right now, writing the code. So I'm not saying a matrix, we're going to the bots are going to take over the world. I'm not saying that obviously, but what I am saying is just be wary of it. And these are going to be conversations that I would love to have, on another day, of course. But I have my concerns about AI, and I'd love to elaborate on a different live, obviously, and why I have those concerns. Now, there are some things that I think that are remarkable about it, but there are definitely, anytime there's an advancement in technology, some human somewhere in the world has been affected and hurt by it. It's the way it is. So I'm going to hold my opinion on Chat GPT and all those things because it's now super popular. Everybody's doing it. You can write code and you can write, and I think it was well, we'll talk about this another time, guys. But yeah, definitely
very
great.
heavy.
It is very, very.
That's
very
a whole show in itself, bro.
Whatever show. But I am happy about, and I will say this, Barry. I am happy. I think he's still there. There, Barry. I will say this. I do agree with you that there will be a collaboration between the two, a marrying, if you will. So yeah, absolutely. I just hope it's not at the expense of the quality of human life, and that's my biggest concern. And again, that's a subject for a whole nother live. So. Yeah, but thanks for opening up that can of worms, man. I appreciate it.
Sorry about that. Well,
No, you're good.
something just to add on to the confusion is that pretty soon AI is going to be writing all the code for everything. People remember this. It's like learn to code. Well, in the next year or two, and even now, we're going to have AI coding stuff. So it's like you want to create a smart contract, and just put it in chat, chat AI, whatever, and it'll spit out the code for you.
Let me ask you a question.
So it's increasing
Barry.
our efficiency. Mm-hmm.
Well, it is efficiency to get products out, but let me ask you this, and this is relative to crypto. So imagine, it's writing codes now, it's writing smart contracts. So here we are, we're trying to teach people, those that would even listen to us, to be critical thinkers, personal responsibility, do your own research, all that stuff. And all of a sudden, they're listening to us and hear what we have to say because we've learned some things and made stupid mistakes. Now we're teaching you have option A, option B. Option A, be a critical thinker, make the decision on your own, personal responsibility. Then you got option B, go to Chat GPT, ask the bot what you should invest in, how to invest, how to dollar cost average. Point is, they're doing the work for you. So yeah, it's great. I mean, they may hit a couple of home runs for you, but at the end of the day, you didn't make that decision. The AI did. So what have you really learned? All you did was press it. But again, that's a conversation.
So you're saying it's going to dumb down humanity?
Absolutely.
Idiocracy.
At least at this point, I actually watched a guy because I was curious for seeing how you would make a WordPress script for adding in Instagram posts and stuff like that. The code it gives you is not good. You have to keep telling it and dumbing it down and changing it in order to get what you want. And a guy I watched do it took him 6 or 7 hours.
But it's getting better and better. And
that's the problem. Them doing that is making it better over time.
It's going to keep learning, and it's going to get to the point where,
And it's going to get better. It's going to get better with everybody actively going in and adding input to it, right? So I like the idea of that, the efficiency. But look, I'm dumb enough. I don't need a damn bot to make me dumber, and that's just me. And that may just me being old school and thinking, well, shit, I learned the hard way. I wish I had a bot, but then would I really have learned anything? No.
Well, I think it's what everyone kind of argued with calculators in your pocket. Remember in school, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket at all times. Well, yeah, I do. And it's not just because me having it doesn't make me any stupider.
It doesn't make you any smarter either, because you used to have the long format. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day, guys. I'll definitely get in that conversation. You don't even want to know what I think about many things, but but all right, guys, we are at freaking 2 hours.
We're all in a simulation. We're in a simulation.
And I'm pretty much right. But guys, I really appreciate everybody joining in tonight. I mean, for those that are still hanging on, we got 27 watching. Man, I'm just honored that you guys would even listen to me talk, or any of us actually, especially Follower. He won't shut the hell up. But here's the thing, man. Nah. But guys, you want to add anything before we close it out? I'll give everybody the last word. Barry, you got 5 seconds. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so my last word is that if we have a can-do attitude, and we can figure it out, we can do all these things, being proactive and positive. Even if we were handed a shit sandwich, we can make it into something. So that said, figure out what you can do. I'm doing that myself. I'm looking at projects that I'm, actively trying to promote or to create. And so in the future, I could say, hey, this was my impact on the community. So everyone find out what you're good at and make it work and make this community stronger and better, more valuable with your talents and not just being, some shitty comments on the internet. So be better. Do better.
That's right. Make it happen. Thanks, Barry. Con, what you got?
Let's see. Well, I'm just well, I don't know. Honestly, I think so much was talked about in this. Just everyone just has to have more of an open mind. Definitely pushing themselves in other parts of the crypto sphere. You want everything in crypto to do well. Talking crap about other things or just being oblivious to other things are just as bad in my eyes. Getting yourself out there and just getting to know new communities and new people around the sphere is definitely just as beneficial as doing the YouTube videos and stuff that everyone else does. You're just going about it in a different manner. Because look at SHIB last year of how crazy that was able to go with just a little community it started with, and it's not like number 10 or 12 after getting to number 4. So it shows you how powerful a community can make something. So I think that NR and Cryptonian and Fowler and Barry have made very good points on just everyone kind of doing their part. And what was your word? It was honest. Okay.
Barry's word, honest.
No, ONUS. That's what you're saying, guys. That
ONUS.
ONUS.
Oh yeah, ONUS basically it's on us. If we want this project to be successful, it's on us. It's not entirely on us, but we have a major role to play.
Yeah, we have a big part to play. Yeah, no doubt.
Yep. Thanks, Con. What about you, Fowler? What you got?
So pretty much, I think everybody's heard me bang the drum. Everybody needs to step up. Everybody can't just be on YouTubers. Can't just be on the team. Community's got to look at themselves and say, what am I doing? How can I make our reach even farther than where it is now? Like, do not depend on marketing. Community should go out there doing the marketing themselves. And when the team starts to buy the marketing and send the professional guys out there, guess what? It's just more weapons for you to throw out there to, make just feel better about yourself doing marketing, and then follow-up marketing comes behind it. It's like almost like reinforcements. Like let the community be the front line, because we are the front line, because we're protecting our investments at all times, right? So get out there, do your thing, and guess what? It'll pay for itself tenfold. I promise you. That's it.
100%, man. 100%. NR, what you got?
I just want to thank all you guys for joining us tonight. Barry, Con, Fowler, obviously Cryptonian. Thank you guys, for coming out here and doing this with me and for everybody out there listening. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate everybody that watched. And hopefully, like they were talking about earlier, everything's still on point for March 1st. However, if there is a delay, it's because something happened. It's because of a reason, something needed to be fixed. But, at this point, I'm hoping, we may see a faucet and, keep an eye out next week. Maybe we'll have that test net up and running, which I'm pulling for, and I hope that does happen. But if it doesn't, let's not be negative about it, guys. Let's definitely not be negative about it. So, if you guys can, please go. If you're not already, subscribe to Cryptonian, Fowler, Confirmant, and keep an eye out for Barry's Greek yogurt line.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good. I'm gonna get you the artwork for that.
Yeah, no doubt. If you guys need some gear, come over to VulcanMerchStore.com.
Are there
Vulcan
Greek
merch.
yacht shorts on there?
Not yet.
Not
That's
yet.
a good
Okay.
call, though. I like the Greek yacht shorts.
Well, he hasn't
Yeah.
taken them off yet. He's been wearing them ever since. So as soon as he
Yeah.
donates them, right?
He loves those things.
Official gear. The Greeks' official yacht gear.
But no, I appreciate each one of you guys getting up here and putting that message out there, reaching out to the community, and just, you know, like you said, man, it's not on the team, it's not just on us, it's everybody, it's all of us together.
Right.
You know, that's why like we were talking before the show, man, that's how SHIB pumped, that's how Doge pumped. They got the community behind it,
Right. There
and
it
they
is.
took that shit to the moon, and it made millionaires. It truly made millionaires. And we have, in my opinion, a better community, a more solid community. So I think if everybody gets out there, if everybody does their part, this thing's going to be something special, more special than it already is. So yeah, guys.
Well, listen,
That's it.
everyone trying to educate, because like those people in SHIB and Doge that were just like, I'm gonna hold until infinity. And you hear about that story about that one guy that had like $2 or $3 million that he made on that, and he didn't sell.
Well,
Because
some of that too might be greed. 2 or 3 million. I wanted
greed.
8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's
So-
what we're
Versus-
here.
But he only had
It's so
500 in the
wonderful.
bank.
Right. So you know, some of that's greed. I mean, I get
Yeah.
that, but some of that's greed. But
But
yeah, you're right.
Us
Have
coming
that
here
plan.
and educating
you
to
know?
say take profits and do that
Yeah,
stuff,
man.
like especially the
It's
today
important.
crypto saying that.
Yeah, it's important, no doubt.
Looking at the Pareto, you know about the Pareto, not the Prado, but the Pareto dispersion, the chart, the graph, where you have like this many people, this percentage of people who get all the talent, do all the work. You can Google it, but usually have only a small percentage are actually getting shit done, and then it kind of falls down, right? So
The old
it's
80-20
called the-
rule.
yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
Pareto distribution. So you have to
I'm
look that up.
familiar. Yep.
Yeah. So, but right now, there's very few people who are actually making something happen, and so we got to look at ourselves as not as spectators, but as participators. Get on the field. These people right here, they're on the field. I'm on the field, and it's hard to take complaints seriously when you're not doing something, you're not creating something, you're not providing value. Yes, you got their money in there. That's value right there. But what are you doing? So let's make it happen together. Let's be stronger together by changing our perspective on what it means to be in the DeFi crypto space and a part of a great community.
There it is.
Well said, Barry.
You said it.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Guys, I appreciate everybody jumping online with me and N.R. and myself. You guys have spent some life energy tonight, and for those of you listening, you've also done the same. So thank you so much for that. You know, so as N.R. said, please subscribe to my channel, to N.R.'s, to Fowler's, to Confirmant. We greatly appreciate that. Please share this video because there will be many more videos to come. I promise you that. We're not going anywhere, and I can guarantee you that 100%. If Vulcan fails, we will not. I promise you that. We want it to be successful, and the onus is on us. So thank you guys for again for tuning in, and remember always, give love to all, hatred to none, do right, and fear no man. We'll see you guys on the next one.